From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of Hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of Hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable.
Wherever you go. You can listen to the news. You can sleep with the blues on this wonderful, wonderful station. Just take a lively companion wherever you go. Take a portable radio. Take a portable radio.
Oh, I'm having that thing in my ears again. Oh, my God. What's that all about?
Now, here comes the music.
We've got a technical right out of the gate.
What was the thing in your ear?
I was having a right-left. We had it a few weeks ago. I had a
More gremlins in your... I didn't have my ears on. I know.
right-left balance issue. My gosh. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Studio C. It's a Tuesday night. It's the middle of May. It's already the middle of May. Good gosh. Where's the time going?
I don't know.
I never know. Where do they put it?
Did they
I
store
don't know
it?
where it came
They
from.
store
I don't know where it
somewhere?
went.
Yeah.
Can't get more of it. I know that much. We cannot get more. No matter how many Groupons, no matter what you got. No more.
Or an optimist
time.
might say that there's always more.
I mean, we're running out of time so fast that Bill Nye the Science Guy is swearing at people at this point. Like, he's like,
That was only a matter of time.
right.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it, though. Anyway, hi, everybody. It is
I
a
like that
Tuesday
he's
night.
let himself go. Just go with the science.
Oh, he has to. It's science. Well, because it's based in fact. I mean, science is. Not a lot of people know that. Apparently,
Your
Yeah.
facts.
a
Your
lot-
facts, not mine.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how facts work now. You can have yours and I can have mine.
well, they're alternative facts,
I have
right?
I have
That's what
different facts than you
That's
do.
what Kellyanne Conway calls them,
Yeah.
the alternate facts universe. There. Well, okay. Well, again, like you say, what did the lions eat
Yeah.
on the ark? How'd that
Just
work
to-
out
just
for you?
Answer that question. I'm good.
We might figure out a lot. Plus, in all the the depictions of them boarding the ark, it's 2 male lions.
Yeah.
There's that issue. I mean, I
Maybe
realize
there was a surrogate.
Well, as one of my favorite things and it's an argument that's almost 500 years old, might even be more than that.
Ooh, that's all old
is
the
when,
earth is.
Yeah, exactly. Just a day or two later. The paintings of like the depictions of Jesus and the disciples and all that. People are like, oh, they painted one as a woman. Okay, this wasn't like in real time. This was 1500. This is not a snapshot.
Right.
This is a picture someone drew,
Someone drew it, right.
1500 years later and made somebody slightly feminine. He didn't know anything.
Right.
He didn't have some like there wasn't some whisperer or some secret book. Like it's just a picture, sweet kids.
Yeah. Well, not a picture.
I mean a painting.
A drawing, a painting, an artist
A portrait,
rendering.
if you
Yeah.
will.
Drives
Yeah.
me crazy when people are like, well, it's depicting this. It really isn't depicting anything.
It was a court reporter. It was bored.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There was a little bit of time between what happened and when someone decided to draw pictures of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that the rest of tonight's show goes as well as it is built up in my head to be, because I feel like I'm rested. I'm coffeeed up. I'm already into a bottle of champagne. You guys have a couple beverages. I know you're on sinus
Drugged in the
medication.
tits, yeah.
Good God. I don't know what Marnie's got going on. She's building a bridge in the kitchen already. I don't know. What is she doing? Ryan, what are you doing? Okay.
You know.
No, well, all right.
She's building an ark.
She's moving in.
Don't forget the lion food.
And
Yeah, exactly.
building an ark, I see. By the way, Marnie, don't be feared. If you may cross paths with a roommate somewhere. I think he's here, but I'm not sure. Just, if an attractive young man just walks through the kitchen, just acknowledge and move on.
That would be new.
fair,
Got
okay.
it. All right, there we go. Well, hi everybody. Welcome again. It's show. What is the show? 386. My gosh, if you're keeping score,
I'm not.
no, nobody really is. So I guess we just get it right down
Oh
to.
my God, my eyes.
What happened? What happened? My,
So red my eyes
Oh,
are.
look at
Jesus
that.
Christmas.
I have
doing
some.
the full
I have.
Uncle
I thought you were
Fester.
crying for a minute.
I've got
I
some
didn't
clear
wanna-
eyes.
Wow.
If you'd like some eye drops, I've
We
got those.
may have to.
Well,
We may have to clear eyes this.
okay, we can get
As
there.
I looked at that, I was like, "What the fuck?"
I just thought you were stoned.
no.
Oh, also I see.
See?
I jumped to tears. You jumped to weed.
Well, it seems to be
We
around me.
can make either one happen. I'm
Yeah,
quite
just-
certain. Like, which would you rather cry or get high? Which one today?
Well,
At this point, I feel like there's just tears running down my face, anyways.
Well, would you like to summarize how your allergy season is going with what you've been up to lately?
Sure, we can do that. Well, a mystery was solved. Oh, we gotta wait for Marina. So well, we had a card or a letter from.
there's an envelope. There's the file folder.
Right. Now, we realized at the first commercial break that this was not a real person. But we did make the assumption that it was Meow Cow. Well, it turns out it was Joe.
Oh.
So Joe got me a card.
Wow.
To thine own self be true, to the rest of the world lie, love. Homka? How are we pronouncing that? Homka?
Sure.
Sure.
You're making all the
So-
right sounds.
Yeah, and then happy birthday in Russian. and then a picture of the cat. Every Mycel shouts happy birthday.
I see.
So it came with artwork.
Okay. So now, Joe, what you've done is that you've now made you yourself suspect number one in anything that ever happens again. Clearly, that's what you've done.
But I mean, we had convinced
But that was
ourselves.
that was creative, though.
Yeah, very well done.
Yeah.
Cute.
And the fact that we had,
And he'd mailed it to him. He'd mailed it somewhere, so it got a postmark or something.
yeah, something.
Yeah.
I was. Oh, yeah. That's now.
I mean, he made the Russian Federation stamp
Yeah,
on it.
the
but
Russian Federation
Didn't it get mailed to Mesa or some bullshit? Yeah.
So clearly, it journeyed to Mesa. But I did
Wow.
want to know about that Russian Federation thing because I remember finding that very cool.
It's somewhere in here. Yes. Whoa! I just moved that off the table just today. When I was in here earlier preparing for the show, I did have a couple of the Gummy Bears, which was enjoyable too. They're still good. They seem to be good. Do those ever go bad? Actually,
I imagine they would dry out at some point.
Yeah.
They have not. But, so, well, we'll find that and we'll ask questions about it. But I decided to replenish. Now, I don't go to the Costco, so I could only get a lady size. Not the whole family, but just the lady of the house
I see.
portion
Interesting.
Personal stash.
of the Albanese cult.
Oh, but are there purple ones in there?
Hoof flavored citrus. You think I didn't check the fucking bag
Well,
to make sure there wasn't
but
a,
have you
There's a
opened
purple
the?
one
You
on
haven't
there.
a
opened-
purple cult
But you haven't
member,
opened the
but I
bag
left
yet.
them unopened.
Well, you feel
We-
free to
Lovely.
open them. We can
I
merge
got us
them.
new corn nuts for
Because we can never
later.
have too many.
And then
You know, I should learn to change the description of when people say, "Hey, what do you guys do on your podcast? I'd like to join in." I should just start telling them, "Do you like snacks?"
Yeah,
because
we just describe
We
snacks.
just eat. And that's
And then I
really
was
snarks.
very
Snacks and
excited
snacks.
to find out that Uncle Biff, local business owner from San Diego,
Okay.
owns Uncle Biff's California Killer Cookies on like Virginia-ish and University, right in the heart of Hillcrest.
Okay.
It's been there for close to 30 years. Delicious
How
cookies.
have I never heard of this?
I have no idea. We've never been with me. Lots of fun memories of going in there and like just having fun with them. And
All right.
one time Harrison got invited to the back and she helped make the cookies one day.
Cool.
And he's just a charming fellow. But it had been years since I have spoken with the actual Uncle Biff. So we have one in Phoenix now on 7th Street and like Rose Lane. Just
Oh, up north of Bethany.
yeah, north of
Oh.
Bethany. And it turns out Uncle Biff grew up in Arizona, went to school with the gentleman that owns this particular
Got it.
establishment. And he had the one in Pacific Beach, the one in Hillcrest, and then they opened this one. It's been there for about a year. I was in my car
idea.
driving to Tim's house, Tim's new place, and I saw Uncle Biff's sign and almost wet myself.
Oh,
Realized based
My.
on the time of day that they were long since closed.
oh, is that it's just a morning?
No. Actually, they're open later than I thought. I think they're open till like 7 on weekdays and 9 o'clock on Friday, Saturday. They know their customers.
Okay.
So I got us to enjoy. This bag has the
you brought
actual original Uncle Biff's Killer Cookies. They're like all kinds of shit in there. They're delicious. And then I got us a couple of my favorite, the peanut butter and then the peanut butter chocolate chunk ones.
Oh, I'm not mad at any of your choices right now.
No.
Very exciting.
But they're so good, and it's such a cute little thing. And in San Diego, you have to buy like a little carton of milk from the cooler to get your milk with your cookies.
Uh-huh.
But here, God bless these motherfuckers, it's like a water dispenser.
Oh.
And it's milk and chocolate milk out of a dispenser, like a soda fountain.
They know.
Oh.
Are they next to a dispensary by any chance?
they're next to a very fancy gym, which made me laugh.
That's very funny.
Like a super fancy fitness
Okay,
place.
you are, wow, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going
There's
on.
cutlery.
busy.
That arc.
Wow, and attitude.
Yeah. Arcs don't just build themselves anymore.
She's feeling spunky.
Right.
Ryer
Snippy
is.
and brought knives. I'm not sure how to
The
feel.
Lord's
Oh.
not helping her.
My bad. I should have noticed the knives more.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh,
Oh, well, we are ready for
my
sweet.
God.
Oh my gosh.
I heard you and I'm like, God damn it.
Knock knock. Who's there? Diabetes.
And
Marnie's brought in not one but 2 cakes.
I think the fan is gonna be your.
2 cakes.
Actually, Marn, you could if you kill that switch right there, it'll just kill the fan over there. Just kill the fan for a minute. It'll, and then it'll. I mean,
and, I guess I never realized how high that fan
I
is
know,
going
right?
until we tried to build a fire to
Oh,
stay
wind
warm.
tunnel. It's a wind
Oh,
tunnel.
do not sing the song, but thank you so
do not,
much.
do not sing the song.
So we have a triple chocolate and we have a red velvet because someone was hungry for red velvet.
Maybe
And,
you.
yeah, there are 2 more.
Wow.
Oh, mm.
That's
I mean,
Um,
yay, birthday to you, birthday to you,
Yay,
birthday
thank
to
you.
Still getting birthday wishes.
So it was also my birthday, so if you want to flash.
Oh, my God,
So,
hang on.
first you
Wait.
can show the picture with Joe and the,
So this proves the collaboration.
right. So there's
see.
Joe. The card's cut off there, but that's a happy birthday in Russian.
Got it. Which you just held up. I
Yeah, we
see.
went to the actual physical location of the Chenin Walk today.
Very
Oh, I was trying to
Lovely.
identify by the interior of that, but I obviously haven't been to the Chinnawalkin for a long fucking time. And then this is from Saturday night? Yes, Saturday night at the Cobalt.
So this is Saturday night.
what a lovely picture.
Yeah, pretty late in the drinking. The portrait mode of the iPhone several.
And I'll get it.
So that's my
I
friend
need to get me
Jenny,
one of those.
It is.
frequently mentioned on the show.
Yeah.
And my friend Emily, who recently engaged and just bought a house, and
Good on
very
her.
exciting. And the other gentleman is Clayton.
Yeah, you might recognize me from my other things I do in town. The interesting thing when I met these 2 young ladies, by the way, Jenny, if you're looking at the screen, Jenny is on the left and Emily is on the right. Jenny, who apparently I'm for 10 years, we have just not ever met over the course of time.
Right. She
And-
did not make it late to the later parts of other.
Yeah.
The later parts of other. I don't know why I'm doing it this way, but this is how I choose
I
to
don't
do
know how
it.
you're doing it either. Yeah, so it was interesting to me. For as long as clearly she knows you, she's listened to this mess of a show, yada yada. She was
Intentionally, I
She
believe.
was very inquisitive, which I thought was interesting. Like asked me a lot of questions, like
Well, she
she's
always
been
wants to-
wanting to ask.
yeah.
It was interesting.
And I mean, we worked together. She and I have worked together since the first day I worked, my very first day. And when I changed departments 9 plus years ago, I went specifically to the department where she worked.
Oh,
We always worked together, but now I went to her department
okay.
where she's the main doctor at night, or one of the 2 main doctors at night. And she's just fantastic. She's a fantastic human, and sometimes we'll talk about lives and what we're all doing. Sometimes, during procedures or stuff, you get off topic and you don't always talk about exactly what you're doing. And people come up, things come up. She has the season tickets, and she's listened to the show a few times. It's been on for a decade now. And then she just coincidentally has season tickets the same day of the
Oh,
week
the
that
The same
we
day
do.
and time, right?
Right, you guys were talking about that on Saturday.
And so she's always curious. She always loves meeting people. I finally met her husband like a couple years ago. Now we all, now all of a sudden he goes to everything, so it's fun. After him being held separately.
And pardon me, the 2 other people that joined us when we went outside, the really soft-spoken young lady and Kevin, the guy that was with her.
Yes, thank you.
When we were out, we moved outside.
Uh-huh.
They also work with you in the hospital. She's a very soft-spoken
Oh,
young lady.
Casey. Yes, Casey and Kyle.
Small.
Yes. Casey, yeah, she's hysterical. She's like this little firecracker of a human.
How do you hear her? Does she talk
Oh,
louder
no,
in the
she's got a-
hospital?
Now, yes. I've never heard anyone describe her as soft-spoken, but that's
In fairness, the Cobalt is awfully loud.
not on the patio, though.
But yeah, but even I can hear the other girls well. But that girl is a very soft-spoken young lady, or at least at that moment she was.
Yeah. But super sweet. Her husband's a police officer
In local. I didn't realize that until.
in Tempe, and he was one of the people that,
This looks
was on the...
lovely.
Am I going to get arrested for this? Sheet.
Oh my gosh, Marn.
You could have handed it to me times first. It would have been fine. I survived.
Marn,
I got tough enough skin.
Did you slave at home and make this?
Of course I did.
I know.
Yeah.
Or did you find your way to a bakery?
Homemade at
I went
AJ's,
to,
isn't it?
AJ's.
Well,
You know.
they do fine work. The
Let's
local
just say the
AJ's.
fucking AJ's.
I have a fork.
So then, just an example of like the level of allergy
It's lovely.
season
Thank you.
Yeah.
happening here. Hello, Mama Di.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
This fucking cactus.
Yeah. Where is that?
So anywhere in the goddamn city.
Oh. Okay.
I have lived here.
Isn't that the prickly pear?
This is the level of things that I did not, that are just blooming out of control from all this fucking rain.
And they're
I did
beautiful.
not know that these things turn purple and then
Yeah.
got flowers all over
Oh,
them.
sure.
Gorgeous.
I mean, this is one in a seriously dead backyard where like no one is watering or caring for it. In Scottsdale, where the actual like landscapers are, there are like flowers everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's what started this whole thing.
Oh,
I
not
think
at my
we
house.
talked
All my
about it a
stuff is
couple
still
weeks-
dying.
Yeah.
Well, my pole cactus is by the front door. They bloom as well.
But like, there's cactuses that I'm like, I didn't know they had a goddamn flower on it.
Look at you. You've lived here half your life, and you know all of. You're learning
We've
more.
never had this much rain. I've
they're
never seen this
that
much
is
rain before.
that is fair. We were talking earlier, right before the show. In fact, that when did we move to San Diego? Because it's or Seattle? Because it. Yeah.
And
What
it's
you
just the whole
yesterday?
last week, I keep walking outside going, it's a little damp, and
Yeah.
it looks like it might sprinkle, but
Right.
it's 75 degrees. What in the fuck?
Rain, cloudy.
And I love San Diego. I'm not mad about it.
Oh no, I love it too. But it's like,
No, it causes this.
Well,
but yeah, you're having a hell of a time.
Get to
allergy-wise.
105, kill everything.
Sure, then we move
that's
on.
you. It causes
Yeah.
none of that here.
Daenerys this shit. You know what I mean? Burn it the fuck down.
Listen, I can't.
Dracarys.
So what happens to you, Allie?
Allie.
Alfie? Where the hell did that come from?
Well,
So it
a
gets
new
to
one.
it gets to 115. It kills everything here. You're fine. Then you take a vacation or a weekend trip to the LA or to the San Diego. Do you get it there?
No, it's only here because things that should never cross-pollinate
right.
in nature, no one else does this shit with trees. You don't just go pick trees up out of nowhere and plant them. You plant
well,
them.
and when it's been dry for so long, and then it hits it, all of a sudden it's
just
like,
goes
what are these
nuts.
spores? Like,
Yeah,
Oh, those
this shit-
fucking yellow things have
Yeah.
been everywhere. And that tree
what
outside
in
your
the
house.
hell are those?
I feel like those are new.
No, so I know that I'm with you. I know that I've seen them before, but there is a ginormous one 2 doors down from me.
Oh, the
that
trees with all the
obviously
yellow
has
dust.
been there, right? Obviously has been there.
Right.
I believe those
for
are
moons.
Palo Verde trees, and they're
I think
everywhere.
so,
No, no,
and
but
right.
not. No,
And they
mine
do
is
this
not the
every-
Palo Verde. Mine
Okay.
is the balls. That makes a carpet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
this-
That's the evil
They're-
fucker.
I mean, they're gorgeous,
Right.
but
But
it's yellow.
Because the
everywhere.
Palo Verde trees always bloom. They don't bloom like they are this year. This year's fucking nuts.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I remember seeing a yellow flower here and there,
Yeah,
but now
yeah.
they're lining all
It's
the
just
streets.
yellow.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yep.
But that fucking tree next to your house is, again, we need you to set
From
it on
Satan.
fire.
Yeah.
The neighbors will be upset for a minute, and then they'll realize, oh, it's better.
Because we don't live
As
under
long
this.
as it doesn't get their house.
No, I don't want anything to happen to their house.
Oh,
but
no,
that
I
tree.
wanted to have it in mine. I wanted to get hit by lightning,
Okay.
fall slightly east,
Okay.
and take out the back half of my kitchen so I can get a new kitchen and a
Sure,
refrigerator.
Sure. Okay, that's
I don't know if it's going to hit
all right.
the
As long
refrigerator.
as there's a plan.
Wow. Wait a minute. That's a long way to the refrigerator.
I'm not saying it's actually going to hit it.
Oh.
But according to the insurance company,
I see.
it hit the god. I hate my refrigerator.
Are these the same
right.
insurance people that?
No, they're all new.
Oh, they are all new. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay, because
I was uninsurable for quite a while.
I
years
was
ago,
gonna
yes.
say, 'cause how did you even get insurance?
No.
I mean,
But he did not go without a television. I'll tell you that much.
no. Don't be foolish.
Why would he do that?
No shit.
This
Don't
is
be
silly.
foolish.
Nope.
Is he breathing?
awesome.
Needs a
Right.
television.
Needs, yeah. Is he awake? Sure.
I mean, yeah, Netflix training. It's very, very serious.
Oh, by the way, Netflix, if I'm not mistaken, season 5 has been fully released to the Netflixes in regards to the Schitt's Creek. So it's all there on the
Oh, very
all
good.
there on the Netflix. Should you need it. Anywho, let's see. So you get your birthday and Kitty Cat or Marty, whoever wants to go. It's free for all.
Kitty cat.
Kitty Cat.
Oh,
That's a that's a,
Everybody's getting new names today, Ryer.
Nope, I'm good with that. You
That's-
keep
Allie
it-
and
keep
Kitty
finding
Cat.
it
Just-
right.
It's
Right.
not.
Right.
It's not.
Oh,
it's not going well so far.
It's
Allie
almost.
Cat.
It's almost.
no.
It's almost
no,
Kate and Allie.
No. No. No.
I'm not.
Almost.
I'm not going into that cat drama. Cop drama. Jesus Christ.
God.
That's
All right.
that's a thing we're doing now.
Allie.
Apparently.
I
Allie.
feel like no.
the '80s cop
Oh.
drama.
Well, now we should turn on the fan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hit that button, girl.
It's like the day I was at a staff meeting. Somebody tried to do the whole everybody put your hands in and cheer, and I I backed up and
Recoiled.
sneered at. I recoiled, yes, sneered at it and said, "We're doing that now," and I got up and left the meeting.
That is not the meeting I signed up for.
I'm a real team player.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody put his hand out, like everybody hands in. I was like, ooh.
I'm not touching.
Next thing they'll do are those fucking inspirational posters, and you'll just say no.
Hang in
We
there.
say
As
no.
long as
Yeah,
it's
no.
the kitten, I'm super okay with that one.
Hang in there,
hang in
cat.
there.
Generic cat.
That kitten is awfully cute. Doesn't matter how generic he is. He's a kitten and he's cute.
Got it.
I'm on vacation and I don't give a fuck.
Well played. Well played.
We may not even make it to do the show with Cat Carlson.
I may just up and
She
I
might
may just get up and
drop
leave.
the mic.
Right, boom.
Push the
We-
mic to the
Yeah,
side.
we've given her sugar now.
Yeah. Push
Oh,
it to
good.
the side.
I'll pretend I'm going to get another beverage
That's
and then
right.
I'll just not come
I
back.
won't show back up. I'm
I'll
leaving.
just pack my things and leave. It's
Gonna ghost
I'm gonna
us.
broadcast.
I'm taking my toys and I'm
Yeah.
going home.
But no, it's a lovely feeling to leave work and go, I don't have to be back here for like 12 fucking days.
That is
Fuck
delightful.
you.
It is. It is.
That is a lovely
It's a lovely
thing.
feeling. Yeah.
It's also a little bit apprehensive, I would think, because because on day 13, from now when you walk back in and realize, the fuck did you all do?
It'll be fine.
Okay.
They're gonna do the same dumb stuff they do when I'm there, and they have to clean up after themselves. So who fucking cares?
I feel like I take 2 days off and they move everything in the building.
Yeah, right.
I go into the supply closet and I'm like, what the fuck happened in here?
Yeah. Well,
And then
you
you,
know,
spend like your first day back
Yeah.
having to redo everything.
usually when I take off of work, the people that work like on a shift with me find a new appreciation for me. Like, I
Oh.
usually come back to, oh my god, don't ever leave again. Please don't.
So
leave.
you're a morale builder when you leave. Like everybody gets excited about their jobs and all because when you're there, it's better,
When I'm there, it's but they get excited about my job because when I'm there, it's better.
right? So somehow you're building bridges by leaving.
Sure. Whatever it takes, I'm gonna leave often.
All right.
Yeah. Got trips planned all summer. I'm leaving often. Fuck this work
I'm
business.
out of here.
I don't want to do it
I know
anymore.
this upcoming
Tired of
trip
it.
does not involve a beach, but I'm assuming one of your trips this summer will involve some sort of a
Yes. The next one involves a beach.
Okay.
The one after that involves an RV.
Okay.
Very exciting things are happening.
I'm concerned about the young one and trucks. That's really all I care about.
Oh my god, we're gonna get our own like RV. He's gonna be beside himself. I'm
that'd be
renting an
awesome.
RV in July and driving it to Idaho with the wife and kids because there's a family thing. I have people that live in Idaho. We just go there.
No, I
on
get
purpose.
that. People live there. I understand.
Yeah.
But
People
you're
that I'm
vol-
related to that
That's
want
a
to see me once
bitch
a year.
of a drive, though.
No, it's not that bad, and we'll do it in 2 days because we've
Seems
got
like it's
people
all
that we can
uphill.
stop over and see.
Yeah, how do you get You got to go through the mountains, though, right?
You do. We go up to 17 and then wind our way up through Page.
To
Like-
the east.
Kind of northeast, a little bit of Flagstaff. Yeah.
Yeah, and then go around the canyon that way,
Yep. Yeah.
and then southern Utah up. Yeah.
And then we get to I-15. If we wanted to, and it doesn't actually add that much time, we could go through Vegas and be all highway.
Oh, right. Yes.
And with the RV,
Okay.
we might,
Yeah, that
because
makes
then I don't
sense.
have to go up and down the mountain like 700 times. I can just go.
Yeah, there's
It's all highway out.
the only
through
way I
Vegas.
have ever come down to on the eastern side is with that like end of the road bullshit where you go through Valley of the Gods and all that and Mexican Hat. And I'm like, oh, not on an RV.
You'd be surprised.
We
things
did
I
that
can
in
drive.
S10, and I was like, oh, it's a certain death.
No.
Hey, Jenny.
Are you getting a 35-foot? What are you getting?
No, I'm just gonna get a little 25-foot Class C, the kind with the bed over the cab.
Oh, sure.
and-
Got
yeah,
it.
just a little. There's just the four of us.
So
The
one-
dining room table folds down to a.
It folds down into a
comfortable.
bed, right?
Yeah. It's
a
Yeah, so there's
one-ton
a
truck.
bed over the cab. There's a bed in the dining room table, and then there's usually a bed in the back, and that's all I need.
Gotcha.
I'm really looking at like a 25 to 27 footer. I don't want anything longer than that because I do have to on the farm when we get there. I do have to drive it, wind it all the way up the hill to the pasture. So
All right.
Pasture.
I know.
And do you hook up to electricity or water or what happens?
No, we'll be out of that. So we literally camp in the pasture that is the backyard of my grandmother's house. So the house is right there. Like
Oh,
we're
okay.
basically sitting in the backyard. I don't rank enough to get power. Right. There's a
yeah.
hierarchy.
I was gonna say, I'm like, okay.
My parents get power. My Uncle David gets power. Even their baby sister doesn't get power. Like I'm pretty far down the food chain.
Oh.
Wow.
Would you like to take a generator with
Yeah,
you?
right.
No, and it comes equipped with a generator. Like if I needed
all
one, there
right.
would be a generator. But for the minimal like phone charging and whatnot that we'll need, I'll just mooch off of mom and dad.
Got it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mom, I'm plugging my phone in your house.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know, my grandparents are plenty older, so we don't we pretend like we are actually just camping, but it's much more convenient for my grandparents who don't actually have to camp. Then they can sleep in their own bed and have the conveniences and the comfort that they need. But as
So
kids,
there's a shower nearby and a place to plug in your phone.
Right.
I'm all about this. Camping sounds very legitimate.
you're right, and I've gone the past 2 years just by myself, and I've mooched off of my mom and dad in their giant like fifth wheel RV.
Right, yeah.
That's basically a palace. But this year I'm bringing the whole tribe, so I had to bring my own accommodations, or I was sleeping in a tent, and that wasn't happening anymore.
No.
I've gone to great lengths this year to not sleep in a tent twice.
Yeah. This is
As
with 4
well
people.
you should.
Because
Yeah.
4
I
people
mean,
camping
yeah.
with 1 person in charge now.
Because this weekend I'm supposed to be camping in the mountains of Utah in May, where the forecast is snow, like literal snow.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
Boston. Boston snowing.
Wow, Mark.
So,
Oh, that sounds awful.
so the best part is when they planned this, I again recoiled and turned my nose up and sneered when they said, "Oh, there's sites for tents over there. You could sleep over there." And
Excuse me.
excuse you.
the hell?
Show me that map. Oh, look at that. There are condos right there,
Yeah.
walking distance from this camping place.
Dude,
How much
no.
are they? Oh, look how cheap they are. We're gonna book one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my grandparents said, "Well, that's a great idea." And my sister said, "Well, sign me up." So I have
It's
roommates
a lot
for,
less people
right.
in tents.
So I'm camping
In
in
a
a
condo.
condo.
As
I am
God
on board.
intended. Let's just say it. That's what God meant when he invented camping.
I'll go camping as long as it says Hilton
Yeah.
on the outside of that
Yeah.
tent.
Yeah.
It's gonna be lovely.
Camping is a Motel 6.
Sure.
Let's just be fair. Like real camping, I don't.
And they even
I
got
don't
some
understand
fancy ones
tents,
of
but-
those.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm all about sitting in the chairs.
the
I'm all
light
about
on
the
for 'em.
fire. I'm all about the wilderness.
I am
the
as well.
sleeping accommodations is where I come to a full stop
The
anymore.
bathroom
I'm not,
accommodations is where I come to full stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm even flexible on that.
Hand me a shovel and I will hit you over the head.
Yeah, exactly.
that's
And I
not
will
my-
show you the weapon you died
That's.
with.
You will see what's coming.
However,
I promise.
very rare is it that I could sleep in a condo but still have to shit in the woods. So,
Okay. That's a super fair point.
as long as my sleeping accommodations are up to par,
Okay.
the restroom should also
That'd
be
be
on
really
that
funny.
level.
Now go outside.
Exactly.
No,
Same
no.
shovel.
Here's a
Pretty
beautiful
bad. Here's
pillow
your
top,
shovel.
queen size bed.
That's
Yeah.
attached
Now go shit
to a
woods.
Wow.
to a
I'll kill
World
ya.
War One porta potty.
Nope.
Right.
I have to tell you though, speaking
That
of
sounds
the
awful.
the Super 8s Motel 6s, if they're
Yeah.
if they're the same people, if they're not, my apologies.
They're different people.
they're different people.
One of them motherfuckers
Similar. Same buildings.
has on that ride down through Utah to go around the east side of the canyon. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and the last time I was there, it was the only hotel for like 200 miles, so it shouldn't be that hard to figure out. I think it was a Super 8. The most comfortable bed I have ever slept on in my entire life, and the greatest night of sleep I have ever had. We
It's high
checked.
praise.
We checked in there in the middle of the night, driving down. Went a little bit too far before we realized we
Can't
really
drive anymore,
can't drive
yeah.
anymore. Stumbled across that, checked in, closed the blinds, went to sleep. It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, but we've been
Right.
driving since the morning. Went to sleep, woke up leisurely, like, oh, God, I feel really well rested. What a comfortable bed this was. Oh, midday.
Wow.
Straight up slept like 12,
Whoa.
13 hours. Walked
They
up
charged
to the,
you for an extra night.
So walked up to the front desk and they're like, well, hello, Mr. Perkins. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know who I am? They're like, you're our only guest.
You're the only. You're the only one who hasn't left yet.
No.
There are many a
We
horror
were the
movie
only
that
ones,
starts that
right,
way.
we were the only ones there
Yeah.
the night before, too.
Oh,
This
wow.
hotel is in the middle of nowhere. They must be there for some... There
You're
must
right.
be something that happens
gotta
there in this
be.
garden of the
I
gods.
think that would frighten the fuck out of me. You're our only guest.
Welcome, Mr. Perkins.
I was like, so I guess I'll just help myself to the coffee since it's mine.
And it's poisoned.
Can I take this whole picture?
Yeah. And then we finally
that's
opened up
crap.
the shades, and there was a horse pasture, like an actual horse field behind the hotel.
So it was a nice experience.
Yeah, it was absolutely lovely, and it was very restful. And I feel bad that I don't remember if it was a Super 8 or a Motel 6. I feel like it was a Motel 6 though.
It's just
Okay.
a number.
But oh my God, the bed though was
That's fantastic.
Trying to think of where it is because I feel like I've driven past it.
it's all
I'm sure it can't be hard to find.
all alone in the world.
Yeah, just get the satellite out.
Is it in that desolate section of 89 between like Lake Powell and Flagstaff?
Yeah, it's
yeah,
it's
it's
like
in all that. Like,
north of
outside
Mexican
of-
Hat, and Garden of the Gods is like the nearest thing there. I think it's called Valley of the Gods, not Garden of the Gods.
Correct.
I don't think I know what that is.
You wouldn't, because it's just
No,
I mean,
it's
I
the-
don't think I've ever heard that that phrase ever
because it's
before.
where the land doesn't meet anymore. So the
Okay.
Grand Canyon's not there, but the elevation change is.
Oh,
So
I see where you
why?
you
are.
start off up
Okay.
here, and then you have to come down a cliff face, and you're in a carved out. That's what I was saying about a
Oh,
van.
I see. Where were you going when you drove that way?
We came from
Colorado?
Seattle. Yeah, and we just came down to see everything, but we came through Idaho and Utah.
So you came sightseeing that way because that is not the best way.
No, it's not at
Oh,
all.
thank God.
I wanted to. We were
So
trying
you
to
were
do
just
the-
looking at things.
We
That's
were
good.
trying to do the Thelma and Louise tour and go through
Yeah.
The
Monument
Moab
Valley.
Valley.
Yeah, yeah.
We went through Monument Valley.
And that is lovely. Like all of that is just gorgeous out
so
there.
we had it timed to be at the right time of night to listen to the Thelma and Louise soundtrack when they're
love
driving
it.
through Monument Valley in the
Sure.
dark, and
Sure.
then we.
Oh, so it was probably a Super 8 on the reservation. That's why there's nobody around. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because there is nothing between Valley of Gods and the 40.
No,
Like nothing. It's,
nothing.
it's all reservation. That's
Yeah.
where you were.
I know that
No, I
I've
know.
never been there.
And Mexican Hat was the first thing that resembled a town, and it's because the rock formation looks like a sombrero.
Okay.
But of course, we couldn't say sombrero because we got to anglicize
Correct.
it, so they called it Mexican,
Mexican
Hat.
hat.
Just killed
Oh,
me.
I get it.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that also has a name besides Mexican Hat.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, that's lovely there, but that's not at all how I would drive
No, no.
to go to Salt Lake.
And it was just because I was accompanying a friend back and forth to
Or in
Seattle.
any kind of a Winnebago kind of thing, right? Like it doesn't.
Oh
Sound,
no, that doesn't scare
it
me.
would-
No,
No, but
that
I mean,
that road.
that-
if you
what he's saying.
blow up the map and look at what that road does.
No, I
'cause
know.
It's carved out of the face of the.
That's why it doesn't
cliff.
Yeah.
sound like something I'd want to be
No.
driving.
And we got because I kept as we were driving south, I kept saying because it kept saying like danger 14% grade, 14% grade, and I'm like, we have to figure out what this is. And and Shane was like, what? I'm like, I have never seen higher than a 7% grade on a road sign in all my years of road tripping.
Yeah.
Like I have never seen anything higher than 7%. I don't think I've ever seen 10. I'm like, whatever this is double the grade of a scary road, and there's no hill around us.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, it says valley. We're not in a valley. Like, where are the mountains to make this the valley of the gods? What are we not seeing in this trip? And he's like, I don't know what you're so concerned about. I'm like, every warning sign is telling us something's about to happen, and we can't see it in broad daylight.
I've seen this
Right.
in the movies.
Yeah, I'm like, but
Because the world drops out from under you.
Tell them
So-
Large Marge sent you.
right. So you just that just did it
see?
again.
It just happened.
Stereo.
We just lost that right there.
So we got to.
That was a cool moment.
There was like a big barrier, and then it was like a parking lot that you
Right.
would look out at this, and this little sports convertible, teeny tiny convertible sports car comes zooming up, and we could hear somebody screaming as they were driving up. And then, as soon as they made it to flat land,
Check your mic because it's mostly you.
Is it no, but it's.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
here.
now I'm back. That's really weird.
so
Well done.
we could hear screaming, and then we get to the
my
top,
God.
and this girl gets out of the convertible and just starts punching her boyfriend.
Oh wow.
She's like, never the fuck again. And I'm
Oh,
like,
we're driving like
okay,
a
I'm like,
maniac.
we're like, what is this road?
Right.
Because now we could see the land is here, cliff face, the land is here.
Right.
And it's just carved out of the side. So there's things like there's clearances
There's
that
like
you can't
switchbacks
make,
and yeah,
switchbacks, and you're literally in the side of a mountain, and it was terrifying. And we were only in a tiny little S10, like some shitty little,
yeah. Right.
truck.
So it's
That I've
literally-
owned since it was new, or my mom bought me.
Oh,
one.
I don't know that it has because I don't even. It's not as big as. I don't think it's as big as your S10. Now that I think about that, yeah, I don't think it was that big. Like some tiny
What
little.
was it? A Matchbox truck?
yeah.
I
Subaru
mean-
Brat.
You're right.
I'm like, because I don't understand this.
I don't think it was as big as an S10 because I think we would have died at that size
Oh, why?
in like first gear going
Right.
downhill.
I'm 100% my father's daughter because I'm like, well, all the shit that my dad's driven the fucking Winnebago
Yeah.
through, I could do it.
Oh,
And I
because
mean,
that
I-
kind of stuff would
He's
scare the
literally
shit out
stopped
of me.
traffic in Yellowstone because there was some pass that he just couldn't get his rig over, so he had to back it down.
oh,
Had to
God.
back it down, like literally, like stopped and moved all traffic
Oh, my
both
God.
directions because he just couldn't get through wherever he was trying to go. Yeah, like
I can't even imagine.
It's-
There were some roads that.
So that's-
Aaron-
I was
it's my birthright. That's some shit that I
Yeah,
will do
right?
in my
I was
life
saying,
at
so
some
that,
point.
That didn't end well. He didn't make it through.
He just had to back up and go
Yeah.
around. He was fine.
There are a number of places that Aaron and I drove when we were coming. Bless you.
Oh,
Don't
Coming
waste your
back.
It's never gonna stop.
when when on the different road trips we've taken, but especially the one going through Yellowstone and like whatever, where I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit like you, not that.
I'll drive
that- not
anything. I
that.
don't give a crap.
But I mean, it was just one of those where I was like, okay, I'm a little nervous.
yeah.
And riding with Aaron, who's a lot nervous about everything,
Yeah.
it was even more, where you're
Yeah.
like, okay, no, I'm fine. Everything's cool. It's not a big deal.
No, especially about driving stuff. I am fearless.
Yeah.
We were talking about the RVs the other day at the dinner table, and one of the kids was asking, like, kind of what we were looking at, and would it have this and would it have that, and we were talking about those big Class A that look like a goddamn tour bus,
Yeah.
which are very nice. And Sharon goes, well, I could never drive that. I'm like, why the fuck not? You don't need a special license to drive that. It's still just an RV. You just fucking get in, and they're automatics. Like, none of them have to shift anymore. Nothing
Right,
is
right.
a manual.
Right.
You know
And
what I mean?
aside from-
Nobody shifts anything. Even truckers aren't shifting anything.
And you're
It's
not
all
doing a whole
it's
lot of
all
parallel parking.
Right.
Right.
It's
And
all,
I mean,
like
all
that-
pull through parking.
Right,
That road, like the road to Hana thing, is terrifying, and then the next 9 miles of bullshit out to the fucking waterfall. I made that.
Yeah,
I
I
was
remember you
terrified,
talking
but
about
there's
that.
buses going both ways, so I was like,
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
two
Right.
buses just terrifying, and I think
Yeah.
everybody just made their peace with God, but they
believe
made
that.
it. So
Right.
I'm like, all right,
Right.
my one car is gonna be okay. As long as somebody's not coming around this corner doing 80, doing
Right.
his best James
Sure.
Dean.
As long as I stay in my lane and they stay in their lane,
lane.
we're all going to be just
Yeah.
fine.
And I think that's the problem, is that it's like with anything. You believe you can handle it,
yeah,
but then you have some fucking idiot on the other side.
or somebody riding your ass.
Al,
the
is
whole
this
way
what
down.
you're talking
Riding your
about?
ass, yeah.
Yes, that is the road.
That
Oh,
looks lovely.
Yeah.
that does look
Let's
like
do
so
that.
much fun. Oh, I'd be all about that.
Oh, where'd you find that?
Internet.
Yeah.
Sure. The place where
would.
everything lives.
I'd be all about that, but not in a.
I would
in a
take an
Winnebago.
RV up there. You
See,
kidding?
but I feel like it's missing some of the overhang stuff because that's what.
Well, I
That's,
just-
Because it
I just
feels
found
like
one
more
shot.
when you're on it.
yeah, but
didn't go
height's
through-
a real thing.
Right.
That's not so much a perception as it is.
Well,
a hard
but when you're
stop.
looking at an aerial shot of it.
Oh no, but it gave you like,
Yeah.
if your car is above this, you ain't making
I
it.
love it. I'm in. I hope to have a lot of adventure stories at the
Yeah.
end of this.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Places we got stuck, things that we hit, adventures that we had. That's what my
Things
dad used to
that
call
we
them.
Yeah,
hit.
things that we hit and later ate.
My dad used to call it an adventure whenever anything went bad on a road trip. He'd be like, look at the cool adventures. You got your hand in the carburetor, like
Oh
holding
my
the
god!
thing.
Yeah.
We're having a great adventure. My mom's sitting there going, no, it's not an adventure. Fucking fix it.
It's the part of the story you'll always talk about, though.
Yeah, always.
Whatever gets fucked up is
Yeah.
the part you're going to talk about.
Sitting on the side of the road, hand in a carburetor, waiting for my dad to tell me to let go.
Yep.
Don't remember where we were going.
Right. Nope.
Right.
I remember
It
my
is
mom
so
complaining
sad.
and my dad
And
saying,
I'm not
just
even
hold
quite
that.
certain where we were.
Yeah.
But,
Nope.
yeah.
Don't bother to get the car tuned up. The best part is when it all goes wrong.
It'll run better the further we drive.
Yeah.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
How about you, Marina?
Well,
Haven't seen you in a year.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, welcome
So
back.
good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Uh,
We've been renewed, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. The
I
show's
didn't.
been
I
renewed.
didn't.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Just showed up on the
news.
lot just in case.
I haven't signed
I
my
wasn't
contract
sure.
yet.
I've driven past a number of times.
Sure, I'm
just
sure
to
you
see,
have.
just to make sure it hadn't been leveled.
No new signage.
You never know. Anyway, we're taking a spontaneously planned trip.
Oh.
Spontaneous because I ask anymore, and then planned because she needs it that way.
Right.
That's that sentence.
Wow.
That's fair. It's fair.
I mean,
It's challenging.
things that you learn
You realize that the rest of your life
is that.
is that now.
It has
Mazel
been.
tov.
Look, I'm.
Yeah.
It has been.
You're in year 7, 8. You're good.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
just kind of
we're-
used to it.
We're
by
just
now.
over
We're
8.
just fucking do
and
it.
and we're truly, it's like I spontaneously ask and then say, please let me know within 24 hours.
Oh, I like how you put time
then-
frames on it.
Well, I do now because like I'd like to be able to get tickets to things or look things up or do whatever. And so it was fairly spontaneous though. Leah Michelle was on American Idol a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And
Didn't know that show was still going, but thanks for the update
They
on
brought
that.
it back.
is.
Oh.
Yep, they brought it back. And
Changed networks.
It's on
didn't they?
ABC now, right?
it's on.
So you know.
Yes.
Continuing to ruin
You're all
America.
caught up. Yeah.
Yeah.
American
Yep.
Idol.
Oh,
Yep.
good.
Anyway, the Leah Michelle was on there and said that she was going to be
Oh, God
starring
damn it.
as Ariel at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, I did see that.
Because they're going to be doing a live
Little Mermaid, right?
The Little
Concert
Mermaid.
staging of, yeah.
And Harvey Firestein is
Ursula.
Ursula.
Okay.
And I can't think of some of the other names you guys would know. I just Kat, thank you. I saw her go for the
Leaping
mouse
into
and I'm like,
action.
it'll
Right.
be just
Leaping
a
into
moment.
action.
I'm so bitter to be missing this.
Yeah, I just looked at her. I said, "What do you think?" Because as we were sitting there, she said that she was going to be at the Hollywood Bowl in May 17th and 18th, and so I just looked it up real quick, and I thought, well, what the hell? Let's see.
Sure.
And the tickets were reasonable. I've never been to the Hollywood Bowl.
It's its own experience, so
And
that's fantastic.
That's what I've understood. And I looked for tickets, and I kind of looked all over, and I feel like I enjoyed the tickets that we got. That were. There's not a bad seat, it seems. We're in the middle, straight out.
yeah.
Cheech Marin, Peter Gallagher, Harvey Firestein. That's all I got so far.
It's a fun cast.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun.
The movie will be playing behind, and then they'll be singing.
Oh,
so Leah
gotcha.
Michelle's Ariel, and yep.
So do they only sing or do they do the dialogue of the movie as well?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
depends-
sure.
Well, there's a different kind of concert staging if they're not doing the Broadway show, if they're doing the movie and having the movie play behind
I know
them.
that they're having
Oh,
a
yeah,
play
it's different.
behind. Yeah, I
'cause
think
they're
it's
very
more of just a
different.
concert.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more of just a concert.
Do they let the whole movie run?
I believe so.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
cool.
I might be wrong, but I believe that. That's,
yeah.
I've never
It
experienced
happens to be the film's 30th anniversary.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Isn't
that's
that crazy? I know. I was like, oh shit. So, go ahead and kiss the girl.
My favorite.
Like it'll be so fun. And Aaron, of course, if you remember from season 1 of our show.
I like that you think I'm going to remember that.
Well, I think that you will because we had a correspondent from Awatuki that used to call in,
Yeah.
being Aaron, Ernie as it were.
Right.
And she loves the housewives.
Yeah.
She and the Mr. Early, right?
Okay.
Well, she and Buddy would go back and forth about that. Anyway,
The Real Housewives of
the Real
whatever
Housewives of
city.
some fucking city where they get nipped and tucked. That's right.
Right, exactly. All right.
And so she looked in, and we're going to be we have reservations at Sir for dinner, which is one of the housewives, Lisa Vanderpump. It's her restaurant, and they're filming this weekend. I'm like, fuck.
yeah.
This is going to be like Tiffany's.
It's all the
right?
feelings,
I walk
yeah.
up to Tiffany's, and they go, yep, she's got nothing in her debit card. Now I'm going to be walking up to Sir. I'm going to stand on their little, like, I don't know, welcome mat, and it's going to be a scale. And they're going to be like, you cannot come in. This all just pisses me off, all this bullshit. So I'm going to hang out in the car, wait for Aaron.
There was a restaurant in Florence, and I
can't
was like,
Download some podcasts. It really helps
I
kill
know,
the time.
right?
yeah. There was a restaurant in Florence, Arizona that I'm like, I am not cool enough to be in here.
In Florence?
Florence? I was like, what? I thought he was going to say Italy.
I know, right? I'm all,
I
what?
meant Florence, Italy, but I thought that sounds kind of asshole-ish. Let's make it Florence.
But you did go to Italy.
I did, and I went to a
And
restaurant.
don't you forget it.
Yeah.
Don't you recall?
But
Your
you
whole
did-
story's falling apart, Mr.
But you
Perkins.
did win the Oscar for Moonstruck, and don't you forget it.
Listen, Allie, we're going to get some more
Make me tell
details.
you twice.
That's right, Kate, Allie.
Kitty
relax.
cat.
Don't.
I almost shot coffee all over you.
If
Wow.
there's anything that will literally make
Yeah.
me just pack up and
Now
leave,
he's
it's that.
Now he's promising
Yeah,
me a good
yeah.
time. He's gonna
Yeah.
shoot coffee all over me.
As long as it comes through your nose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to go.
So-
It was full spit take. Was that going to be?
Yeah, so we're doing some
That's
Beverly
fun.
Hillsy kind of Los Angeles-y, some bullshit things, and going to Tom Tom, which apparently is like a offshoot of Sir, and we're having beverages there. I'm like, Aaron, you just plan, girl. You whatever. This is
It's-
my spontaneity for you. So
Where
we will
are
go
you
and
staying whilst you're there?
We are. So when we went to
Motel
California,
6?
yeah, right?
No, it's the Super 8.
Super 8.
Super 8.
Super.
We'll leave the light
Thanks
on
for
for
asking.
you.
When we went to Dana Point last year, we
There's no switch.
we stayed at a place called the Four Sisters Inn.
Were they all there?
Nope, not all of them. Only 3 of them. So I thought the name was kind of horseshit. But
Going back to catch the board.
False advertising.
anyway, it's a boutique hotel that it was absolutely fantastic. it was one of those where we went for breakfast. Aaron had mimosas. It was an all-you-can-drink. We were supposed to be coming home, and I was like, just have another one. And then I looked up a hotel, and it was this Four Sisters, and we went there. And if you called that day in a certain, they were amazing. Are you celebrating anything? We had just gotten engaged, so we went and we did this. Like we're on an engaged tour kind of thing, and they had chocolates on the bed, and we walked through the door, and they're like with cookies and wine, and how are you? And I was like, well, I don't know, but I'm fucking sold.
Yeah.
Like, I got cookies, I got booze, I got chocolates on the. I'm good. I'm real good. And it was just beautiful. They have 6, I think. I don't think around the world, but around the United States, and they have one down in LA. So we're going to be staying there, and
Well, the reason I
go to
asked,
the ocean, and all of the things.
one of the reasons I asked is to make sure to find out where your closest shuttle point is for the bowl.
That's what I was going to ask you actually,
Yeah.
because I need to get. Aaron's like, we can just Uber or Lyft, and I'm like, no.
You
I
can.
said I just don't think, because getting out of there I think will be a fucking nightmare.
It is a fucking nightmare. But so
I'd rather buy things ahead of time and just do the park
yes,
and ride.
find
or
out where
whatever.
your closest shuttle spot. There's shuttle spots all over town because they don't want cars in and out of there.
Right. Well, and it showed. We'll do this after,
Yeah.
but I looked on there and I looked at where Sur is and where we would be leaving, and I couldn't. I had a hell of a time trying to figure that out. so.
There'll be one.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
But you definitely want a shuttle to the bowl.
Yeah.
But it's a lifetime thing. Like
That's exciting.
it's very
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. That's so. And she gets to see Leah Michelle and.
And it'll be all in bloom because they've had as much rain as we have,
Yeah.
or close.
Yeah.
So get
be
your allergy
beautiful.
medicines ready because there'll be
Sure.
fucking flowers everywhere.
Well, last year when we went out to California, we were at Laguna Beach. We went to that pageant of the Masters,
Oh,
which was undeniably one of the coolest things that we've ever done, that I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just spectacular. And so that, I have a feeling it's going to be similar
Yeah.
with the Hollywood Bowl, but I feel like it's bigger.
Yeah. Oh, the bowl it's quite large.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like it. So, but yeah, exciting. So that's what we're going to be doing.
It just seems like a giant performance space in this tiny area
Right.
with people's homes all around you. Like
Right.
the
Well,
house, like somebody's house is right above the bowl, and you're like, is that a good thing or a
yeah,
bad thing?
Right, right.
And then sometimes, depending on the show,
I would
you
think it'd be
see-
great, like to be able to hear.
Depending on the show you see, they have fireworks at the end.
Oh, okay.
And so we saw, a friend and I saw Music of Spain. Turns out there's not a lot of classical music to Spain, so it was a short concert. But
Fair enough.
at the end, they did Ravel Bolero. And they had fireworks going off to that.
Oh,
And
lovely.
it was one of those things where I was just like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever fucking seen.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And they said, there's not a lot of not a lot of composers from Spain.
Sure.
We know the big one you're expecting. We're gonna save that to the end. So if you don't think we're getting to it, don't worry. We are.
Right.
We have something special planned.
Right.
And they said that for an orchestra, it's not terribly exciting because it's kind of the same thing over and over again.
Right.
But when you combine it with fireworks at the end of a
With pyrotechnics.
boozy ass evening,
I would think for a 30th
because they sell you whole bottles of
anniversary
wine there. They don't even
of
fuck
this.
around. They just sell you whole bottles of wine there.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So there is.
mean,
we
you're
can
just
get
boozy.
things.
Oh, fuck
and-
yeah.
Okay.
It's the White Women Hall of Fame. I mean, I'm just telling you.
Well,
And I've
great.
forgotten
Aaron will be a
with,
delight.
so where is, because you've got the Hollywood Bowl and you've got the Universal Amphitheater. How far away?
And I'm gonna say I don't even know what what.
The Universal Amphitheater is at Universal Studios,
Okay.
and it's a mostly indoor but kind of outdoor. That's how it gets called an amphitheater. I think the back part of it is outdoor, but the front part is covered, and it's about the same size space. Donna Summer Live and More was at the Universal Amphitheater. Donna Summer, the TV special, was at the Hollywood Bowl.
Okay.
I saw her at the Hollywood Bowl, and they did not do fireworks.
Sons of bitches.
Well, that's why at some point I want to
I'm
go to the
writing
amphitheater
somebody.
because
Yeah.
of Live and More being.
And I did get to, because she did perform there.
Have
Well,
you
I
ever
did
been
get
to the
see her there.
Hollywood Bowl?
No. I've driven past it because all the times I've been
It's
in
off.
LA.
It's right off Sunset.
We had to go when.
Or that might be the Greek. I mixed the Greek and the Hollywood Bowl up.
No, because the Hollywood Bowl's not far from there. Because when you go all the way to the end of Santa Monica to whichever free is it the 5, whatever, and then you go up that a little bit, boom,
Yeah.
it's right there.
We had to, the closest I've been to the Hollywood Bowl is the parking lot, because that's where we had to
You're
meet
giving
for,
hand jobs for crack.
Wow.
It was before
that
20 bucks
escalated.
is 20 bucks,
yeah,
bitches.
yeah, just.
pre-1991.
Don't get so judgy there.
I
Yeah.
won't.
mister.
Yeah, I won't
391.
judge your 80s. You don't judge mine.
That's what I'm fucking saying. No, we had to go there for when we got to see that last Oprah show. I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah.
you guys, whatever the, and that's where the buses, like we could park there, and then we had to go to get on buses to be taken
to Burbank, right?
No, nope. No, it was
Kodak
the
Theater.
Kodak Theater.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It was the last show at the Kodak
Right.
Theater or whatever.
After
last
the Academy
Oprah.
Awards the
Huh?
night before.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So
Cool,
anyway,
cool.
that's the closest I've been. So it's exciting, and that'll be our last minute trip.
Very exciting.
Last minute
Very
planned
exciting
trip.
plans.
Yes,
Driving or flying.
driving.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah.
easier.
It really is. Yeah. Once you spend, I mean, it's what 5 hours, 6,
Yeah, 6.
and so you spend 2 hours in the airport waiting to
Yeah.
get there. Well, let's see. Going with Aaron, you spend 2.5 to 3 hours in the airport waiting, and then
You got to get your
you're
luggage.
flying, and right. I mean, so by the time you get to have a great concert on the way there, and
Yeah.
And you got to
Yeah.
go rent a car, and then
yeah, all of
The
it.
good thing
It's
is
just
flying today, you
ridiculous.
fly to Burbank, and bam, 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 you're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you
but-
practically land at the rental car counter.
Yeah, I'm okay though. Yeah.
Burbank was a hot topic last week or 2 weeks ago on this show with him.
Playing taxis right up to the rental car counter. It's all one
Okay.
one unit.
they put
I'm
the
going to
inflatable
re-
slide out.
I'll
You
be
just
right
slide out right into your car.
And then it takes back up.
Because they certainly did not have to. They certainly did not have time to get you a drink on that
Right.
short flight. So you'll get yours as you ride the inflatable
That's
slide.
right. They just get out the fireman hose. And
Yeah.
like, pull it.
Just shoot me with the
Yeah,
vodka.
right?
Put it in a
Jenny,
little
we're
squirt bottle like
actually
you're a
going to
cat.
be there this Saturday.
Yeah,
where it's
this
so
week.
mu-
So this month.
in May.
So this
But,
month.
yeah, this Saturday is
If I
the
understand math correctly.
Hollywood Bowl.
right?
Yes, I do believe the month of 5.
Yeah,
A month,
right.
Yes.
a month of 5.
Merry, merry month of May.
That's right. So it'll be very
lusty
exciting. I'm
month of
very
May.
much looking forward to it.
And we did almost
exciting.
talk about, but missed your mother's birthday. So happy birthday to her.
Yes.
Because we had a
yes.
show on April 30th all about May Day, and I kept trying to remember to wish her a happy birthday, and I
You're
realized
sweet.
You did not.
no.
Well, she was beside
Because
herself.
we talked about May Day
Yeah.
over and over again.
She was beside herself, and she was like, "It's on my calendar," and then I did it, and I'm like, "He'll be fine," and
Yeah,
he
he's
knows that, you know,
Yeah, he's
it's,
not
it's
5.
good. No, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's an important, and I think for her memory and just everything else, like that's a big deal for her, and she was so upset. I missed it by a day, she says, or so I think it was
Yeah.
just a day.
But
Anyway.
we had talked about May Day because they were celebrating May Day in India, their version, and
It's Labor Day.
I always think of it as your mother's birthday,
Yep.
and we just never. The conversation just kept getting hijacked and hijacked, and we just never got back to it.
Happens a lot on this show.
And
I know.
and a happy Mother's Day to
Yeah.
Mama
No.
Di.
Yes.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Yeah.
All you mothers.
You mother. I love it.
So what'd you do?
Oh, just well, the past week. I mean, we were off last week. There was an audio issue. Come to find out, people. Okay, a lot of the show is based out of the UK, but people don't realize it. We are actually doing a live show.
I could be doing this from the UK.
What?
The company that runs our 24-hour feed and does all that happy stuff. They're out of the United Kingdom. You like just listen to yourself laugh on the playback? Is that what you do?
He just fast forwards to his face looking like this.
And then one aspect of this show, one of the software pieces we use, is actually done out of a guy created it out of Australia. Didn't realize this actually. I'm gonna blame all this on my mother.
Okay.
No.
Can I
There
do
you go. It's
that?
Mother's Day.
Damn
yeah.
it.
Blame her.
And a happy Mother's Day to you.
No, mom needed an
All your fault.
mom needed an updated iPad. So I reset one of our iPads that we had here. Gave her a fresh new iPad. She loaded all of her games. She's good. Everything's great. But for some reason, the company that makes that app for us to broadcast just the audio only portion, they don't have an app anymore for iPad that works. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I was emailing him, going back and forth, all of a sudden just silence. Like nothing happened. So I emailed through their website. I emailed him back directly. Nothing. I finally found out that the company that we actually go through, radio.co out of the United Kingdom, has a feature, and boom, we're back up and we're live and everything's good.
Oh,
Well, thank
nice.
goodness.
So that was
Nice.
part of the issue from last week. And then this week it was, we have a local charity fundraiser. It's called the Sexiest Bartender Contest. Really has nothing to do with your looks at all. It is a fundraising event, also coupled with a vodka, which is Tito's vodka, typically.
Lately.
Yeah, past several years it has been. And then the bartenders are voluntold that they'll do this from their respective bars. They start raising money. They have to create a cocktail. They do a talent number of some portion, yada, yada, yada. Well, anyway, that all wrapped up this weekend at Stacy's with the extension of their spring carnival.
Did I win?
No, you did not.
Sad.
Nobody affiliated with you all won either. So
I'm
anywho,
surprised.
so wrap that up, and the fundraiser winner was Danny out of Bliss Rebar, coming in just under $3,000
Wow.
for his.
That's
And then
great.
Austin from Stacy's won second in fundraising, but overall won the actual competition with his cocktail and his votes and all that other happy horse shit. So,
Nice.
and the other cool thing about that was, as I was hosting that event, I found out I heard somebody out of the corner of my ear say something about, "Hey, Mom," or something. And I was like, looked over, and it was Mother's Day. There were a couple parents in the audience, just happenstance, but Austin's mother, aunt, grandmother, and like his whole family was there.
Okay.
That's
And
sweet.
when I found out which one was his mother, I went up and I just thanked her. I said, "Thank you for being here. I don't know if you realize what it means." And like basically, she gave me the lecture of what it means of like, all parents should show up. Everybody, da, da, da. It's a blessing to have any child. Da, 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 da. Then I found out that she has a second son who's 15, who also is gay. And it was interesting. Like the whole family was just on board. They're like,
I love it.
Like no child left behind. It was like we are all on board for all of this. It was
love it.
great.
That's
So it was just
cool.
wonderful. And as I was talking to her, telling her about my mom and how she's been involved with everything, and fortunately, pretty much everybody that I run around with is close to their families, except Kat, because she makes sure they lives in other states.
They make her
Oh, I
sleep in
thought
the
you meant the ones
backyard.
in my house. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I
Right.
guess I'm close to them. We live in the same house.
She was like, she said, "Just stop talking." She goes, "You're gonna make me start crying here in front of everybody." She's like, "I get it." She goes, "This is a big thing." And I said, and I even thanked her on the mic after that was over. I was like, again, you just don't realize how many people that are here in this event today don't have that luxury, and it's just a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Just let everybody call me Mom," and which is my mom does too. She's like, if you need an ear, she's there. I just think it's a great thing to see
a wonderful
parents
thing.
supporting. But even down to like the grandfather was there. Like we're just
That's
Wow.
cool.
yeah, they all
That's
showed up.
and super rare.
So up until
Yeah.
now, he's been a great disappointment. Is that what
Yeah,
we're
No, no,
learning?
no,
Like,
no, not at all.
This is his greatest accomplishment.
No, not at all. They just came out to support.
Right.
No, apparently,
Finally, Austin's done some good.
no, Austin apparently has been. I didn't know this about Austin. He's been working his way through school. Like he's got 1 or 2 degrees already. Like he's
Wow.
a smart kid, but he's doing I just work in a bar because I have no real responsibilities. Like he just comes in, he does his shift, and he leaves. He's not a manager. He doesn't
Doesn't
want to
have
do
to
any of
take it
that.
home with
He's
him.
focusing on school,
Sure.
and then.
Have him call me in 10 years.
Well, I don't know where he's going to be, but I just was surprised to
He's working on additional degrees and still bartending. Have him call me.
something.
In 10
I don't know what
years.
he's doing, but he's working on some other stuff. But he's going to school, and I'm just glad to see him doing something with his world. Good for him.
Erin just had on that topic. One of the gals, one of her students, came out to her family.
No,
Came out to her mom,
no.
and it went
She not living with you?
horribly wrong. Yeah.
Oh no, shit! I was just being a smartass.
No.
Horribly wrong.
Horribly. It was awful, and the mother was like, "You're the biggest disappointment. Basically, you're a piece of shit. You are not welcome
Oh.
here.
Wow.
I don't want you to be in our lives. You're a horrible." This is someone who is undocumented, worked her ass off. I mean, just is brilliant. Was nominated and was not expected to.
The daughter,
The
right?
daughter.
Okay, the daughter.
Nominated, not expected to. We were at prom a couple weeks ago, and she won homecoming queen, and
Oh,
was
that's
just
fantastic.
beside herself. And when she came in to Erin, she was just sobbing about this because she really thought it would be okay,
Yeah.
especially in today's climate, right? No, and so there is still so much work to be done, and hopefully it'll change. But
How old is this young lady?
18.
18 years old.
Going to be graduating.
Wow.
Her mom, I'm not coming to your graduation. I don't want to be. She doesn't want to be a part of anything in her life, according to her. With what was said, hopefully it'll be one of those things where she can sleep on it. But fucking, you can't ever take that shit back.
Do you know if
Like,
this young lady
you
has
cannot take that
siblings?
back.
Does she have brothers, sisters, or do you know?
Yes, that's why she was a horrible influence. That's why she doesn't want her to be around.
Oh, she has younger. Oh, I was thinking that somebody would smack mom around and be like, "Listen,
No.
she's your daughter."
Yeah.
She's the oldest.
Oh,
Horrible disappointment.
terrible.
Yeah. It seriously fucking heartbreaking. And so, quite frankly, maybe living with me. Maybe living with us at some point. And would not mind that at all.
Wow. That's just not wow.
She's
that
18
she would,
though, right?
Yeah.
Right. And could
Okay.
come and it could, I'm just saying, in that regard.
But I'm
so
saying,
it's not.
make sure she's 18.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because then the
Right,
mother
right,
will lose her mind for some other reason.
Right.
She absolutely could. And still actually could.
You don't
in
want to
this-
get arrested for
No. And I
harboring a
agree.
minor.
I totally agree.
Check her ID. Get a birth
but yeah.
certificate.
But that is just crazy.
I'm not kidding.
No, I understand.
Okay.
I'm totally with you.
It's
Yeah,
coming from
'cause-
a story. You like to share a story with us?
Yeah.
I was the
kidding.
I was
You
the
were the
minor,
minor.
Oh,
and if my
sure.
mother could have found me, she'd have pressed charges.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
sure.
Hide her well.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
No, but I
Basement
understand.
closet is
You're
best.
right. We'll
I
dig a
haven't
hole.
heard.
Irony, I know.
I haven't heard a story of anybody coming out. Like I haven't heard a story in a long time that was a bad experience like
I
that.
agree.
So that's
I agree. It was really just it was super painful to hear it, because I haven't either. We just keep hearing about these
Good stories.
Good stories.
Yeah.
No, and so that was really heartbreaking. So hearing that is wonderful, right? To hear like that his whole family was there.
yeah, right. Supportive of everything he does.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So
Crazy.
anyway, have fun. Bummer. Go on.
There's that. All
There
right.
you have it.
Well then, I got mice everywhere trying to control everything at this point. So forgive me
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
if I get
That's
cute.
not gonna go well.
Well, no.
for
And
me.
we're on
Yeah.
vacation. There's mice in the room.
I'm out.
1, 2, 3. And one mouse works as a duel. So
Nope, the one had me out. Didn't even need to
I
hear
don't
about their
care.
friend.
I don't care if the mouse has a job.
The other three fucking
Yeah.
sisters at
at the end,
the inn.
That's why the one was gone.
there's
This ain't
no room at the
Cinderella,
end.
Clayton.
Exactly.
They're not gonna build you a dress.
My God.
There's a horrible joke that I'm gonna walk away. We're gonna need more mice.
We're gonna need a bigger mouse.
How do you feel about Cleveland? All right, let's just get out of that segment by doing our teaser and do hour 2. We're gonna need more mice. Oh my heavens! Well, guess what? Porn has been declared a public health crisis.
A large inflatable chicken.
I hate most of the country right now.
There's a cat that died.
Stiff Tollivator ordered to pay.
Florida man wielded a cheeseburger.
Taking mom out for brunch.
Turning meth back into the Sudafed we all need so desperately.
Oh, is that possible?
Politician goes to Pornhub looking for votes, and pigeon triggers a speed camera. Oh, the exciting stories we are about to bring you. Coming up right after this break, it's Q Talk America. Please stick around.
You can't put a price on dignity.
Tell that to your outfit.
This is your outfit.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Educates, syncopates, radio communicates, radio, the sound of year-round pleasure.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It is the beginning of hour 2, the B block of the show. It's Q Talk America. It is a Tuesday night. You're in Studio C with Kat Carlson, Marty Ryer, Al Perkins. I'm Clayton McKee, rounding out our illustrious and always punctual cast. If you missed the first hour, well, guess what? You can listen to it on demand at any time by going to qtalkamerica.com and selecting the appropriate show, which is show 386A. That would be our first hour. This would be 386B. Also, 24/7, you've got a lot of time to waste. You can listen to us by going to the Q Talk America website. Find the link where it tells about listening to us all the time and just lull yourself to sleep.
And listen.
And listen, that's what you do. You listen. That's how it works. But right now, we're going to do some headlines about stories that are mostly real. So here we go. Well, we're going to stay a little closer to home with this first story. Republican lawmakers from Arizona have denounced pornography as a public health crisis.
And I say thank God.
In a 16-13 vote, the Arizona State Senate passed a resolution which deems porn an epidemic that is poisoning the minds of children and adults across the country. The one-page measure, however, takes no further action or other than just denouncing pornography and calling for recovery programs to be put into place. Pornography is a crisis leading to a broad spectrum of individual and public health impacts, the measure reads. It cites toxic sexual behaviors, emotional, mental, and medical illnesses. Apparently, it's a real big problem.
A medical illness. You
As
can get
well
from
as,
masturbation.
as well as,
Asking for a friend.
as well as low self-esteem and eating disorders, which are just a few of the consequences of
Eating
watching.
disorders?
I'm not sure what you're eating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well.
The measure, first introduced by Representative Michelle Udall, Republican, also states that pornography normalizes violence against women and children, in addition to, quote, increasing the demand for sex trafficking, prostitution, and child pornography. However, we also would like to let you know that the Arizona House passed the resolution back in February with a 32-28 vote, a little closer. State Senator Sylvia Allen, Republican, again, said porn is the root problem of many other issues facing society today. Billions of dollars worldwide are being made upon the industry that is poisoning the minds of our citizens. Now,
Including most of the people sitting in these chambers.
Now, State Senator Victoria Steele, Democrat, said the bill will have zero impact during her response on the Senate floor. She says, quote, this bill on its face sounds like it might be a good idea, but it doesn't have any teeth. She said it won't result in any changes. It's the way for people to check off a box that makes them look like they've actually done something when they haven't. To follow up on the story, although pornography often depicts sexual violence, it does have its benefits. Porn is often used as a safe and accessible tool for people to test out different fantasies and sexual imagery. Pornography is especially important in the queer community because it represents LGBTQ sex in a mainstream way that culture ordinarily does not. Additionally, the glaring lack of science-based sex education in the U.S. forces most children and teens to learn about sex from online porn anyway.
Right, which is really shitty.
That's a bad thing, right?
If that's where you learned about sex from.
Yeah, because if you watch long enough, they actually do fix the dishwasher at the end of the film.
Do they?
Yeah, they really do.
Oh, I've never made it that far.
I mean,
I don't think there's ever been a copier that works
They're all broken.
based on my viewing.
But I agree. That's just to say that it's bad. But I mean, there's no teeth. I'm not saying there needs to be any teeth in the bill. That anything needs to happen. But you're just doing it to make yourself
jerking your own chain.
I've always been against porn. That's all she's gonna say.
It's legislative masturbation is
Yeah.
what that is.
Well,
They
but it's-
literally just
you
made
go.
anti-porn porn for themselves so that they
Right.
can jerk
Sure.
off
Oh,
at
but
night
May
about the anti-porn bill that they passed.
isn't May Masturbation Month? It's timely.
Isn't every month?
No, but I mean, I think it's official.
No, I think it's officially.
I think May is
Was I
official.
supposed to wait till May?
No,
Yeah, correct.
but
Are we
it's-
supposed to
Or
make it
are you saying I'm almost
differently?
done?
It's the 5th month because sometimes you need a full hand.
Well, that was awkward.
Well, then what do you do in October?
Do not stop by.
Call first.
Speaking of what do you do in October?
November, December need a friend.
Sometime between last Wednesday night and Thursday morning, a giant blow-up chicken was deflated on the ground in front
Was it ever used for porn?
of a tack, pet, and feed operation.
Oh.
I know.
Arr.
She's been stolen. She does have a big blower that's attached to her,
Whoa.
and
So,
all
yes.
of that cord was
Easy.
taken,
Does the chicken just go?
and then all of the tie-downs were cut,
Easy.
Oh no.
Oh my
said
God.
Dee Dee Lyman. whose family owns and operates the Douglas Feed and Pet Supply.
Fucking Dee Dee.
Owns and operates the chicken.
No, the feed store that the chicken sat in front of.
Yeah.
Well, the
What's
cleverly
with the little
named
bugs?
chicken, known as Princess Layer, that's right, let
Nice.
that one sink in, was
There you
custom
go.
ordered from China.
Wow.
Yeah, I bet there was extra tariffs on
Now
it.
now they have tariffs if they reorder it.
Oh, maybe that's right. They must have ordered it pre-tariff. Good
Yeah.
on them. Good thinking. Good thinking.
Sure.
Well, it would have taken some planning to haul off the 150 pounds of what normally sits proudly at 25 feet tall.
Wow.
That's right. This mother clucker
Damn,
is
Nina.
25 feet tall.
That's a big clucker.
Chicken Gate 2019.
That's a big.
Chicken Gate. Shut up.
I saw it on Facebook and I was
Chicken Gate.
really upset, said local resident Margaret Andrews.
How upset was she?
This spring season, the chicken had only been up for about 30 days before she disappeared. Everyone's on the lookout.
This
She was-
year, has
she
she
was-
lasted longer in previous years?
I'm not sure how old
she was
she
no
is.
spring chicken.
Ouch.
Well, everyone's on the lookout.
Come
It's
on.
becoming near graduation
It was right
season, you know,
there.
and we've come to understand that pranks can be pulled. That's what kids are calling them
Yeah.
these days.
Pranks.
Yeah.
Because they can't masturbate. Toxic.
Prankster.
However, it's unknown if this is the result of high school shenanigans or
Oh, the
or
shenanigans.
bird-brained professional
Oh,
bandits.
fuckers. Did you write this?
Nope.
Did you
As for now, the
But I would be
$3,500
proud to have
chicken,
written it.
somebody paid $3,000 for this chicken.
That's a lot of chicken.
Well, she's gone just the same.
I mean money.
It's not right to take things from nice people, and
not.
these are really nice people, said one customer. They help the community a lot, and they're always very friendly. It's just not fair. You can follow the story on Twitter at Chickengate 2019. Marn, back to you.
Does that mean there were 18 previous chicken gates?
Well, speaking of chickens,
Oh. Oh,
anyone just thought I'd let you know. I felt it.
I didn't know you would answer me in kind. though.
I
I
felt
didn't know you
it.
both spoke chicken.
I mean it.
Did I not just describe
Yeah.
being from a
I
farm?
love when we do accents.
That one I was better at than a whole lot of the other ones that I've tried. So,
It was very convincing.
thank you.
I believed you were about to lay an egg.
Thank you. Leave my eggs out of this. Hashtag me too.
You're not going to use them.
Well, they're not there
I was gonna say,
anymore.
aren't your eggs already
Yeah,
out?
my
Yeah.
eggs are out of that basket. So
God damn.
Well, we've driven this metaphor all the way home, Mom.
I was almost on this, Garrett.
She's in the garage. She's resting comfortably. This metaphor is home.
So, I'm just gonna wait.
Oh, you don't have that kind
Go,
of
go,
time.
go.
Just plow through.
All right then. So I decided to go a different direction than any of the things that I stated in my headlines, and I'm gonna go with the moms.
Okay.
So I wanted to let you know about taking mom out for brunch.
Don't do it.
It's
Wait till Monday. Wait till Monday.
Honest to God, we went to dinner on Sunday. I was like, you know what we're doing, right? No, I thought everything would be done early. Fuck you.
no.
Carry on. The brunch. They're
It's a
terrible.
feminist tradition. I didn't know. More than 250,000 adults will dine out this Mother's Day, and most of them will opt to take mom to breakfast, lunch, or brunch. Or dinner, according to Kat. If this describes your plans, guess what? You're honoring a feminist tradition. The right to dine out in public during the day was an early victory of the women's rights movement at the turn of the 20th century. There's a book called Repast that examines the dawn of modern dining during that era. I was
Wow.
like, somebody wrote a book on that. It was part of a larger set of changes in society that accepted the idea that women could be public people.
Women are people too, guys.
Well, I didn't know.
Even in public.
Yep.
We got to be people at home and outside.
And there. Some of the early lawsuits around women being able to eat in public without chaperones, because that was a fucking thing.
Wow.
These are things I didn't know. With chaperones came from people involved in women's voting rights. While women had long visited each other for tea and company in the home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Company.
Oh!
The
Finger
idea,
sandwiches.
You always
Often
wondered what a
served.
crumpet was,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Often served.
Well, back then you had to read your porn.
Yeah.
That took longer.
Anyway, the idea of a woman eating out at a restaurant unaccompanied by a man, clutch my pearls, was seen as downright scandalous. But if you were one of the many working class women flocking to cities for jobs in factories during this era, and you didn't bring your lunch from home, your options were limited. So few, if any, places were convenient, affordable, and met middle class standards of feminine decency. Dun, dun, dun.
Wow, yeah.
Quick lunch counters were cheap but crowded, and while working class women were sometimes welcome, they frequented them at the peril of their reputation.
She hangs out at diners.
She a whore!
We went honky
That's
tonkin' just last
something,
week.
something. Since noshing there left the unseemly possibility of being swished between members of the opposite sex. I can imagine. Upper class ladies had a few more options, like tea rooms and department store eateries, while catered to moneyed women, but catered to moneyed women. But if they wanted to dine at the finest restaurants unchaperoned, they were out of luck. And forget about going out at night. Only women of ill repute did that.
Those are my favorite kind.
Yeah.
I appreciate the ill repute.
I ordered that book.
So, but in the midst of the suffragist movement, feminists of the era decided enough was enough. And in 1907, Harriet Stanton Blatch, daughter of famed suffragist, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, whom we have talked about in the past, and a women's leader in her own right, and Hetty Wright Graham sued the fashionable Huffman House restaurant for refusing to seat them. I like these women
I do too.
a lot.
What a ballsy first step to have
That's
to
what I
take.
fucking say. Seriously, though an all-male jury found in favor of the Hoffman House, weird, not long after, a New York assemblyman introduced an ultimately unsuccessful bill that would have allowed women equal accommodations with men in public places. Anyway, blur, blur, the ties between daytime dining out and women's liberation became reinforced with the rise of brunch in America beginning in the 1930s. And thus...
So your story never tells us when did they finally win the race? They
from-
lost every case you told.
So they did. I was just fast forwarding. There was no single turning point in the fight for equal dining, but in 2008, keeping women from eating out without a male escort began to be seen for what it was. An antique, preposterous, and ultimately untenable custom.
Okay.
So it wasn't that there ever
Yeah.
was any kind of
They just were like, this is
stamp.
stupid.
Right. This is fucking dumb, and why aren't we... Yeah, so the
It's
concept
like everything
of
else. So
Sunday
you have
brunch...
money and you want to spend it?
Right.
Okay.
The concept of Sunday brunch took off amidst a general loosening of social mores in post-World War II America. People were going to church less, heathens, which meant the chance to sleep in more and start the day with a late breakfast. Restaurants and hotels pushed brunch as a way to drum up new business, and by the 50s, brunch had also trickled into the home.
Because of daiquiris.
Yeah,
And the
right.
gays.
And the gays, that's right.
You're
So anyway, what
Welcome,
are these little
America.
fucking bugs? Anyway, so that these days, of course, brunch itself has become a norm, particularly on Mother's Day. Fittingly, it is now the most popular day to dine out of the year.
Not crazy.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the fact that when I first was going, that's why because it's a decently long article, but it was like, what in
Yeah.
the hell?
Yeah.
Because there were so many things that we've talked about voting rights. And,
Yeah.
women had to have.
Holy
I
Mary
knew
Magdalene, what are you people talking about?
what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean,
bought the book.
You what?
I bought the book.
I love it.
Yeah, you told me the name
We're
of the book.
past.
I bought the book.
Very nice.
I need to read more books anyway.
I think it's probably a good book. I think I'd like to hear it on
We'll find out.
Audible.
Audible. Yeah. Let us
What
know.
if I just narrated it and recorded it and texted it to you like one chapter?
Oh my
at
god,
a
I
time?
totally
like
would
that.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
That'd be fun to do for each other.
Yeah,
I'd
be okay with that.
So, child discovers $40,000 worth of meth inside box of Legos.
Nice.
Best Lego set ever.
But a big waste of Sudafed.
And built everything really fast.
Yeah, woo! Had a castle up in no time.
Look, Mom, it's Castle Grayskull. It's the Tower of Pisa.
It's everything. It's everything. It's everything.
They're
I
not
don't
gonna
need
be
lunch. I don't need lunch. Eat by yourself. It's a law. The Lego box was shrink wrapped to look like it came from the factory, but contained 3.2 pounds of meth instead of toy bricks. When 3 Georgia women found a box of Legos in a consignment shop in Charleston, South Carolina, they figured it'd be a good gift for a child back home in Statesboro. But when the kid finally opened the box, he didn't find any Legos, just a bag with 3.2 pounds of methamphetamine worth around $40,000. Bullock County Sheriff's investigator Jim Briggs told the Statesboro Herald that the women didn't know they were transporting drugs when they took the Lego box back home. All right, now I'm starting to find the story here. Thelma and Louise went to buy some drugs.
Right?
Hid it in a Lego
Hid
box.
it in a Lego box. And
Oh,
then
we had
accidentally-
no idea. It was.
No. How much was that
It
worth?
was at Eileen's basement. We don't know.
My sister's closet.
She's a
The,
lesbian.
yeah, the Lego box was shrink wrapped to look like it came from the factory, but may have been purposely sent to an incorrect address before it ended up on the consignment store shelves.
I wonder who was to have received that box.
I know.
And didn't anybody put a tracker on that?
Well, I don't know.
Come on.
Cost more.
Well, they
Drug dealers commonly ship their products to empty or abandoned addresses, hoping to have someone pick them up, according to Statesboro Herald. However, the U.S. Postal Service often will not deliver to these sites since no one is there, and instead has mail carriers take the packages back to the post office for safekeeping. Sometimes unclaimed packages will be sold at auction, and Riggs said DEA agents believe this might be how methamphetamine ended up in the toy section of a consignment shop. Oh, so somebody at the post office sold this to a secondhand store.
unbeknownst to them.
Got it.
Boy, it's like that treasure show. They had just opened it.
Kind of.
The women turned the drugs over to the sheriff's office, which called in Drug Enforcement Agency agents to investigate how the package arrived at the consignment shop. According to Facebook posts from the Bullock County Sheriff's Office, no charges have been filed in the case, but everyone is moving at a much quicker pace.
I'm over here, I'm doing this, and I'm over here, and I'm doing that. And I
Very
wanna go there,
busy.
and
Very busy. Legos everywhere.
Well, speaking of a quicker pace, this
Oh, and Andre Edwards is listening from the YouTubes. I
Hey, Andre.
I neglected to go on the YouTube
well,
chat page.
hello, Mr. Edwards.
Hello.
Local listener, often seen walking the streets. Not in a bad way.
Wow,
He's a
jeez.
pedestrian.
Ill repute.
He's a frequent pedestrian like
20
myself.
bucks is 20 bucks.
I
We're not
understand.
judging.
Not judging. Nope. I was just.
Girls
asking.
gotta make a living.
He lives somewhere by the fries.
Well, hello.
This phrase?
Yeah.
Okay,
Very local.
got it.
Good on you.
Don't really have anywhere else to go with that one.
Back to you, Clayton.
Well, the Philadelphia Inquirer reports that Jarrett Stiff, that's his real name, didn't pay for trips on the Pennsylvania Turnpike 2,264 times
Shit.
between 2012 and 2017. That's more than anyone else in the state. The 36-year-old from suburban Philadelphia racked up nearly $128,000 in unpaid tolls and subsequent fines. In a deal with prosecutors, he pleaded guilty in April to the theft of services and was ordered to pay a little over $11,500 and was sentenced to 5 years probation. Stiff's case and 2 others resolved in suburban Philadelphia this week are the latest examples of the Turnpike Commission's aggressive new approach to toll evaders. The commission began pursuing felony charges against all toll evaders who owed $2,000 or more in an effort to recoup hefty losses from unpaid tolls. So point here is pay your shit. I'm wondering how they didn't know who he was. What was his? I mean, they're not probably going to tell you. Like, did he have his license plate covered? Did he have some mechanical way to make his plate fall down when he went through and he put it back up?
I think they just finally get around to, all right, now we got to work on these. Now is the month to figure out.
It's kind of like photo radar tickets. Like, you can ignore those for kind of a long time before they really come.
Yeah, before they really come after
come and
you.
investigate you. Like, everybody's got outstanding Turnpike fees at some point. His just, I think, added up for a long time.
I don't know about everybody. I don't.
I mean,
And it's one of those things where you have
I
to go
don't
through the
anymore.
cameras and find out, okay,
Okay.
how many cars went through that weren't supposed to go through, find them, to get out the mail. Is it worth suing somebody for 50 cents?
right.
You know what I mean? Like, what did we
No,
do?
right, but
I
I feel like they really they should have been a little bit more on top of this. I think what you
Right,
get,
but then you got to
what-
wonder, like, after 30 days, how much goes on to it? Because he certainly didn't use the road $128,000 worth of times. It was probably like a year's worth with just compounding fines on compounding fines. It probably didn't take them.
I figure with the electronics of today's age, they knew they know. Well, maybe they didn't
Yep,
update.
but this is Pennsylvania.
Maybe the
Yeah.
infrastructure, because infrastructure apparently is a big problem for our government right now. So maybe
And
they just
especially
are
on these
behind
bridges and toll roads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
That you have to wait for it to be like, all right, we lost 50 cents. Do we really want to go investigate? But if it adds up, and then you can
Right, you
compound
don't-
some interest
You
on
don't
there.
spend
and-
$1 to get a dime. I
Yeah.
get that. But I think they're going to probably increase their surveillance of this turnpike system and probably be able to nail people a little quicker.
The absolute best urban myth that I can find, and if somebody can find proof that it actually happened with an actual case, but it's one of those urban legends that's been around for years, that in pick a state, somebody got a ticket because they made it from one toll booth to the next toll booth too fast, and they were sent a ticket. And it's one of those things where everyone, when you're driving in a state,
feel like that sounds very familiar because when
because everybody talks about it on a toll road.
Oklahoma, because I lived there, I recall that being an issue. They would look at the timestamp from when you entered the turnpike to the timestamp that you left, and there was a variable of that because they would question where you actually got on. Like there's no way you could be at this exit at this time based on your previous timestamp. So they were figuring out, and it wasn't because they were speeding. They were figuring out a way to get on and off the turnpike.
And pay less.
Or they had there was some scam going, yeah.
Because you used to get the old turnpike things punched, and then punched when you got off, and you paid whatever the fare was from A to B.
Right.
So if you know what I mean, you get it punched somewhere different and go through you know what I mean.
And now it's all easy pass, so it's all just electronic.
Yeah.
Snopes says it's baloney.
Right.
Okay.
It is. But it's one of those. But you will hear it every time you rent a car where there's toll roads and someone knows it. Someone inevitably at a family gathering, a restaurant, a bar,
Shares that
anywhere
story.
will share that story about, be careful on toll roads. They know how fast you're going.
It was very confusing in Tulsa, between Tulsa and Joplin, Missouri, when they redid the entire Will Rogers Turnpike, and they put the toll booth, the main toll booth, they used to be at the very end, each end of it. Then they moved it to the center, and the way that it worked was when you exited anywhere, they knew where you came from, because obviously you didn't get a ticket to get on. If you exited, it was whatever, $25, $50, $1, whatever it was. But you paid full toll at the center. You paid the full $2, $4, whatever it was, and then you would show them your ticket. And then if you got off before the end, you would get change back. It was very confusing when they first did it.
Seems very complicated.
But I mean, it's worked for 20 years now for them. But when they first did it, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, and now Jenny says in Orange County, if you straddled the lines going through the tolls, it couldn't read your plate, and they fixed it since.
Oh, sure.
Like the Easy Pass had all kinds of ways to get around it, but then it would read your license plate. And again, if you did it enough, you'd start to get something's wrong with your reader, your plate's not being, or your bill has dramatically decreased. Like your Easy Pass bill. Have you stopped driving? Did you die? Why are you not?
Answer me.
Ma'am, are you
Did
dead?
you die?
Yeah.
Well, because my sister
Ma'am?
lives on an island that you have to pay to
Get on.
get off of.
Oh, to get off the
You have
island.
to pay to get off the island.
It's like New Jersey. You have to pay to get out.
Yeah.
It's true.
So it's true. Yeah, so it's crazy that eventually they're going to be like, why is your account not active? Like, what's different? Do you not need it?
Are you a recluse? Do you never leave home?
You're on vacation. Sure.
But I mean, if you think about it, my sister pays for 5 cars, the 4 cars in her family, and she pays for my sister because my sister does a lot for her. She probably pays her mother-in-law's. She pays 6 cars to get on and off that island every single day.
But what is that? What do you guess?
It's $1 every day.
It's $1 a day.
There's
Wow.
$1 a ride.
$1,
So
I'm
if
sorry,
you forget
$1 a ride.
something, you get a discount for living on the island, which is why she gets it for the people in Niagara Falls.
Okay.
But it's crazy. That's a crazy amount of money for a bridge that they built in the 20s. Is this fucking bridge done yet?
Right?
But
Did we pay this off yet?
But oh god, I don't think any of them are listening from back home. I have a feeling the toll booths went away. I feel like when I was home last summer, the toll booths were gone after.
you just had
Oh.
like a
100
psychic
years.
moment.
Yeah, after almost 100 years.
Don't know.
Well, speaking of psychic moments, here's a woman who should have seen it coming. Florida man is facing a criminal charge after he allegedly woke his longtime girlfriend up by slapping her with a cheeseburger.
Wow. To
Hold the pickle.
To
Hold
all
the
beef patty,
mayo.
special sauce, lettuce, cheese.
He then pulled her hair and kicked her, according to the arrest affidavit.
Why?
Why, he didn't like the
Now,
burger.
had he seen that in a porn? I'm wondering if that may be some of
Allegedly.
that.
Allegedly. Police say that Kyle Jameson Jones, 30 years old, wielded the
I thought you were
cheeseburger.
going to say Eddie Farnsworth.
He
but,
wielded.
You know.
He wielded a
the cheeseburger. That's what it says here. During the May 4th confrontation in the Jensen Beach home, he shares with his girlfriend of 7 years.
Oh, not anymore.
Watch out, Marty, you're not safe.
Is there a burger in my
Could be a
future?
cheeseburger coming at your face.
My gosh.
Get that cheeseburger out my face.
Cops responded to a reported 4:20 a.m. domestic disturbance and we're told by the victim that Jones, seen above in the picture, you don't need to see it, it's fine.
Okay. Oh,
But thanks for reading that to us. When you do your audiobooks, it'll be terrific.
Exit stage left. Oh, that
Yeah.
I should have cut to a
Turn
picture
to-
of a cheeseburger.
No.
size
Turn-
dramatically.
Turn to camera. Listen as guest speaks.
Well, she alleges that he woke her up by slapping her with a cheeseburger.
Oh.
During an ensuing verbal argument, the woman said that Jones pulled her hair and kicked her down the stairs. Dramatic.
I think he was mad.
Well,
It was
unable
not
to
made
identify
right.
any physical injuries on the
Was he
the
a vegan?
victim, a cop noted that he was able to locate several remnants of said cheeseburger on her person. She still had the
on her.
all beef patty
Stuck
on
to
her
her.
face. The woman who declined medical treatment told police that she did not want
She declined. medical
Jones
treatment.
arrested. Instead, she only wanted for law enforcement to speak to him.
She just wanted the fries that came with the
Excuse
burger.
me, sir. If you're gonna slap a bitch with a cheeseburger, bring her a shake.
Yeah.
Slap a bitch. Oh my.
Jones has been charged with battery and booked in the Martin County Jail on misdemeanor charges. A judge has ordered Jones to have no contact with the victim
Well, I can't imagine.
or Whataburger.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
whatever. I was
Like,
gonna
wait
say,
for
you
it.
can't go to get a burger. I think I'd be afraid
Slap
of
a
that
bitch
man.
with a cheeseburger.
Like, does he have to register?
Let's
right?
go-
Like Burger King, McDonald's.
Because I
whatever.
burned some bridges at Wendy's.
That's right.
Honestly,
burn some
that's
bridges.
going on my bucket list. Like, what? Someday in my life, I'm gonna just slap the shit out of somebody with a cheeseburger. You watch.
It's a
I'll
rubbery.
make it happen.
very
No, a real
mad.
cheeseburger, like still hot.
Still
hot. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
so the
Juicy.
cheese kind of burns a little bit.
Make sure it's not a burger you
Well,
from a place you like.
I dare you to find the restaurant that serves a burger that's still hot by the time you get home.
And don't slap them out in public.
Yeah.
What if I'm just
I
in
mean,
my
I learned.
car?
I mean, not that
Yeah.
I've done that.
We're gonna have to think about this a while. We're gonna slap somebody with a cheeseburger.
Totally. Are you trying to look for it?
Who should it be?
Why can't I find it?
He's trying to burn bridges at Wendy's.
Because I burned some bridges at Wendy's.
I'm trying to find the burger slapper.
No, I know. I'm because it's in here. Why can't I find that damn?
Well, Marnie, tell
Well,
us the story.
Oh
I
wait,
will.
it's, no, I didn't. I was like, I filed it wrong. It's this one.
I'm here because I burned some bridges at Wendy's.
So only because I cannot think of her name. What is her name from Saturday Night Live? The one who does that.
Oh,
Not
Cel-
Celeste.
Celeste something.
you're
God,
saying all
she's-
the right things.
She's super
Fucking
famous.
funny.
She is funny.
I'm here because I burned some bridges at Wendy's.
That character that's fucking
So
all
funny.
cracked out.
Yeah, so funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it'll work. I sent you 2 pictures.
You did. Which one? You want both?
Well, the first one, the second one that I sent you
Yeah.
is the first one that I need, if possible.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that's
I'm
all
ready.
wrapped up.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So a mom. Told you I'm keeping it with the mom theme,
Yeah,
right?
I sense a theme. Yeah.
She bought
Cecily
some
Strong.
toys. Cecily Strong.
Cecily
Very good. Thank you. Tamara Laram had stopped at Walgreens to let her son pick out some toys.
Yeah.
She had no idea what she'd find when she got home and unwrapped them, though.
Sudafed.
No.
Meth.
Okay.
No. In a hilarious and shocking Facebook post, the mom shared photos of what appear to be dildos disguised as children's toys. Now, here was the packaging.
Could go
This
either
is-
way.
Look at, but it has bananas, unpeeling bananas with question marks, right?
Well, it does. But,
yeah.
but if you look at the label,
Uh-huh.
wait,
Odd.
these?
Odd.
they're oddities, and it's a surprise inside.
Yep. Surprise inside.
Yes.
Yes. And there was.
Can we cut to what was
Yep.
inside?
No,
Let's-
so
Here's
absolutely.
what she
So
found.
that's what was there.
Oh, well, there you go.
So Finn, her son, had decided that he had to have these
Cat-
bananas.
Cat, what do you want?
Yes, please.
Cat's reaching to the screen.
I have questions.
Yes,
Corn
that's
on the
corn.
cob.
That's Gary Weiner.
If you put if you put hooks on them, they could be
I'm not
Christmas
wrong.
ornaments.
Now, the fifth from the right
Yeah.
is an energy-efficient light bulb of some sort, which I feel
Right there.
could break inside of you and maybe cause damage.
Oh,
You don't
danger,
know.
danger.
You don't know.
And then the earwax there is not pretty either.
Oh,
Right.
Is that
Nope.
the second from the left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
The second on the right?
This one
Third.
worries me.
Yeah, the
A little
corn
bit.
cob.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Seen
this?
that
Where's
before,
the
like, we've
button
all seen
nose?
those.
Yeah, so because somebody already ate the corn.
Yeah.
That's my problem with
Yeah.
corn cob.
That's
it's
it.
used.
And I
That's
like
my point.
I like Mom selected the two that apparently are most flesh-like
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
hold for the
Well,
picture.
and that was the thing. Finn had decided he had to have these bananas.
Wait,
She
are these
said they're-
toys or
they're-
candies? What are we
they're
doing
toys.
with these?
So they're super squishy.
Oh, are they?
And
they're oddities.
and she says
Fusion food.
the mom said that she
sounds like
figured
a dildo.
whatever, it has cute packaging and it's a good sensory toy for a toddler. Liram had written that. So that's what she wrote in the caption on May 1st with pictures of the toys both in their packages and then out of them. The first photo is what they come in.
least they weren't in and
no
out of
pun
her.
intended. They're
Not in the
packaged
pictures
super-
anyway.
Right? They're packaged super cute and appealing for kids. Then you open the package and peel them. Inside is a surprise. Well, it tells you that.
Oh.
She went on to describe that her son decided to pull out the toy. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Which
Two
looks,
hands, Bobby. 2 hands. Pull it out.
Look what I can do.
which looks like a
Shot
giant
it across the
dildo my
room.
3-year-old is waving around. While they were picking up his brother from church preschool.
Shot it across
Embarrassed,
the room.
Liram said, I told him not to bring
God.
it in. I yelled, Finn, put that away. That's what she said. So the mortified mom's post.
Dishwasher safe. That's what I'm concerned about.
Honey, I'm
Already-
sorry, you can't take your
No,
dildos
you
to
can't
preschool.
to church
It's
preschool,
not
as it were.
appropriate.
The mortified mom's post is over 105,000 likes and 59,000 shares as people can't get over the sex toy lookalikes. But Liram says that she's more disgusted than anything. What sort of perv made these? Is what I think when I see them, she wrote in the comments. Of course, my kids have no clue why I took them away, but seriously.
Well, she's going to use each and every one of them.
Well,
now go
that's
back
right.
to the picture. I do have a legit question.
Which picture?
She
do you want?
also, and
The
she
one
hopes
with
the
all the
experience.
sex toys.
Well,
she-
the one with wrappers or without?
Yeah.
Say a Sans wrappers.
Sans- Yes.
She hopes the experience, by the way, it will serve as a warning to other moms and dads. I would hate for some parent to buy them as a party favor for their kid's birthday party or something. Just awful.
They'll stay busy. It'll be a
Yeah,
quiet party.
Something, yeah. Put that
but-
in your mouth.
Just put it in my mouth.
So my thing
Don't
is
choke.
not my thing.
Oh.
But so is what she's holding
Wow.
up a cover for one of those things?
No, that's just
There's
one of
two
them.
more of them. See,
Yeah.
see the blank spot in the middle where they're
No.
all laying out? That's where
That's
those
where
came
that
from.
would have been. Yep.
Well, wouldn't you feel cheated if your toy was just this bland?
Not if you're a
No.
toddler.
No, but you would want the colorful.
squishy.
Yeah.
It's squishy. That's all that they cared
The
about.
earwax one disturbs me. I've been watching too many of those videos on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, I can't
Oh,
watch those.
Now, you
Very
realize
satisfying
all
one.
of these items passed a board meeting. Like, there was a meeting and everybody like
Exactly.
signed off on this,
Well,
right?
all 10 people were sitting on one.
And you,
Yeah, right?
and you know, as soon as they came out of church, it's like,
People that are drawing swastikas saying, "Hi, Hitler."
no, that's not. No, that's not what I wanted. That's not the one I wanted. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted this one. That's the one. They're both called What in the Hell. Sorry.
But it really is true, right? You have to have an entire group of people that said,
Yeah,
that's
this
a
is
great idea.
It's a good idea.
Super packaging. Love it.
Super packaging, suitable for children.
No.
Totally. I
Oh.
love it. Put on there, good for 2 to 5.
2 to 5
Minutes.
uses. Yeah.
Minutes.
Dishwasher safe. So
And scene.
You'll chip a tooth.
Not on those.
Oh,
They're
by the way,
squishy.
not this one.
but-
You straddle it.
Before we get to your story, Al, I'm going to flash back to your cat story. This is the chicken. There is the inflated chicken next to the sign. That's why
Princess
it was
Leia.
$3,000 inflatable chicken.
She's a winner.
So
$3,500.
I just wanted to show everybody could see the size of the
That
chicken as
sure is
compared
a
to the
pretty
sign.
chicken.
A go.
She got a big blower on her right there.
Oh, that's a pretty chicken.
It's a big
Bak,
blower.
bak.
Good God.
She got a real
My
big
God.
blower and a long cord on her.
Oh, look at that.
Tie down straps.
I cut the straps. I took the blower and the cord. It's
She-
taking a while to take the
It
whole
blowed
thing
up. And then it blowed up.
Look like Woody Woodpecker on her
Marna
butt.
blowed up that commode.
Oh, so Barney the cemetery cat
Oh, boy.
Oh,
died.
sad.
Oh.
Did we know him?
A cat who
Did he have a
wandered a
plot?
cemetery to comfort mourners for 20 years has been laid to rest
Aw.
after he died of old age. Barner Barney, the ginger tabby, spent his days walking the grounds of a church burial site, consoling those visiting their loved ones' graves. No.
Of course, first of all, of course he was an orange kitty because those are the best kind.
That thing's shitting on everybody's grave. But
Doesn't
on
matter.
Friday, the 20-year-old Moggy died of old age. What's Moggy mean?
What the
I don't want to
hell's
click on the
Spell
link. M-O-G-G-Y.
That's just a breed of cat.
Okay. This has led to an outpouring of grief
Are
from
you
the local
making that
community.
up?
No, it's
Yeah.
No, it's a
So
real
she's-
thing.
Why she's making it up.
I'm like, I'm going with making it up.
I don't know
but
what kind of band porn I'm going to get to clicking that
That's
link.
what I'm saying.
It's an outrage. It's a health crisis.
It's a term for basically a mutt cat. It's a cat, especially one that does not have a pedigree or is otherwise unremarkable.
Moggy.
Oh.
It's a cat.
Wow,
It's the cat version of a mutt.
the 20-year-old unremarkable cat died of old age.
Oh,
It's led to an outpouring
Oh,
of grief from the
rude.
local community. Groundskeeper Alan Curzon said he was now been laid to rest at the place where he spent his entire life, brightening up the lives of hundreds during the darkest moments. The popular Moggy originally lived with his owners next door to the St. Sampson's Cemetery in Guernsey, but after they moved away, he kept returning to his previous territory and was eventually rehomed there. Alan, 63, the cemetery sexton, who has helped look after Barney since 1996, said everyone was devastated. He said when relatives and friends have suffered the awful loss of someone close to them and go to visit a cemetery, they're not in the best frame of mind, but Barney was always there to cheer them up. For those who entered the cemetery with a heavy heart, he lightened up the experience for them. When people walked through the gates, he often came up to them and brushed against them, so they had cat hair all over them. But this was not there wasn't a bad bone in his body. Did they eat him? We are putting a plaque on the wall and a bench and have found a little space for him in the cemetery where he is buried as well. The place won't be the same without him, and his death has left a gap. I've already seen people in tears, and we are very upset. They were at a grave. But he had a good life and well looked after.
Is this from the Daily Mail?
No, it's real.
No, I know.
Two questions
Yeah.
about this. Well, one observation. One, less feed now.
Right.
That's one. Number two, does anybody find it odd that he's doing a story about a
yeah,
cat?
totally. Right?
I'm waiting for the punchline.
Yeah,
honestly.
just bringing joy.
Yeah.
Is the joy the fact that there's a dead
Dead
cat? in the
cat,
world? Is that what's happening?
One less cat in this story. He had his own house, but would spend his days wandering around. If he heard a car coming, he would make himself known and was so friendly. It's a fucking stray cat. Anyways, they're all upset in England. I mean, this article goes on and on like it's Churchill.
It's a very important cat.
It is in Britain, was it
I
not?
like that
The
he
British,
wanted...
they take their
do,
moggies
huh?
seriously.
They're moggies.
That
They're
Moggy.
unremarkable creatures, quite
Unremarkable
seriously.
cats. Well, you know the British, they do enjoy the unremarkable.
Isn't
Okay.
that Hugh
So all
Grant?
the people of
Isn't
Peta,
Hugh
just
Grant a
write your
Moggy?
fucking letters to my house. I'm
All
ready.
I think about now is it Are You Being Served? The PBS special where the lady is always like, I've got to be home by 6 because my pussy is hungry. She always refers to everything as her pussy.
I do miss a good dry British comedy.
That show
They have to
I
find one.
rang my neighbor up and told him to go to my apartment, look through the keyhole, and see if my pussy was waiting. She's just fucking hilarious. Because that's all she ever said. She had pink hair. I think it was Are You Being Served? I think
Oh my god, that's
They were
fucking
all in the
funny.
retail store. Oh, it's
Yeah.
funny.
That's funny.
Well, while wow, really? While most of the candidates for Denmark's general election are making good use of the internet, posting their promises on websites and social media, one has gone a step further. I guess it's Joachim Olsen, an Olympic shot put silver medalist who had been a member of the Folketing for a center-right liberal alliance back in 2011, placed an ad bearing the party logo and encouraged people to vote for him on one of the world's top adult websites. That would be Pornhub.com.
Ding ding.
On his official Facebook profile, Olsen confirmed that he was, yes, indeed, responsible for that ad. Quote, yes, it's me on Pornhub, he says. Olsen told Denmark's BT newspaper Sunday that election campaigns are serious, but there must be some humor. The June 5th election is being held on schedule at the end of the parliament's 4-year term. So good luck to him with his Pornhub campaign of
You got to have
voters.
a backup career.
Well, I mean, you got to outreach to everybody. I mean, you could reach, apparently at Walgreens with those toys, you can get them there. In our final little story,
Walgreens. Really?
wherever the fuck it was, CVS, wherever it was, I'm not sure.
Are they
Christmas
still being
ornaments.
sold?
I'm sure they could be. In our final
Do we
story,
have a full set?
in the entertainment section or
Asking
the
for a friend.
headline section, A speed camera on a road in German city captured a photo identifying an unusual speeder. Cut to picture of speeder, which I think is funny. Boom, pigeon. The town of Bocholt, located on the border with the Netherlands, shared a photo that quickly went viral on social media, showing the pigeon flying nearly 10 miles an hour over the speed limit on that road.
Pigeons in a fucking hurry.
The Speedy Avian triggered the camera, which is designed to catch.
Avian.
That's what it says. Which is designed to catch drivers going over
saw
the
a
limit.
free-range giant chicken. Scared the shit out of it.
The town.
Maybe he's on the way to search for the missing
Right?
chicken.
The town officials joke that they have not decided whether or not to track the pigeon down and make him pay the $28 fine for speeding.
$28.
He's got to wait till it gets up to 11,000. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wait, right. $200,000.
Yeah, when it's
They're
at
gonna
$200,000, we're gonna find that fucking
I hope
pigeon.
he's not on the turnpike.
I don't. Maybe.
God help him if he
I'm
is.
saying.
5 years
Holy
probation, bird.
shit.
Fuck. Well, they'll make a settlement for about $11,000. It'll be fine.
Still 5 years probation.
Let's see what goes on here.
But we're very sad. All sorts of things got canceled
Boo.
or finished or are almost ending.
Well, things got canceled naturally.
Sniffle, sniffle, tear.
Yeah, tear. We had Death Den was a busy place this week.
Very busy. Lots of dead people.
I don't think we talked about falsetto, so we'll talk about that.
Oh, we should.
And that's pretty much it, I think.
That'll be lovely.
It's enough.
Isn't that enough, really?
Enough is enough.
It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. That's it.
It's enough.
All right, we'll be back with entertainment, and Al gets to talk more right after this.
Is it done? Did I do it? Did I win?
You did it! You're done! You won!
I won?
You won!
You're listening to Q Talk America. This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
That's who bought all the dildos, by the way.
Just cover the nipples.
Well,
Cover the nipples.
over the break, everybody, we've been talking more about the dildo story. Well, that's exciting. But remember, everything's a
predictable. You
It
knew
keeps-
that was
it
gonna
keeps giving.
happen.
everything's a dildo if you're brave. Just
Yep.
remember that, boys and girls. Play along at home. Feels good,
Bessie?
do it. I don't know.
I want it on a pillow. You know what I mean? Offered in the guest room if someone's about to lay down their head to be that the last thing you see.
That's right.
Well, we've talked about inflatable chickens, unidentified toys from a convenience store, speeding pigeons, all kinds of other exciting things. You can listen to those on the previous hours of this show. show 386, volumes A and B, but this is 386C, where we get into entertainment and the Wheel of the Week coming up in just a bit with Kat Carlson. But now let's turn it over to the one and only Al Perkins.
We'll start off by sneezing.
Oh.
And then we will move on to the things you should be
Gesundheit.
the things you should be watching on the Netflix.
Okay.
Dead to Me on Netflix. Christina Applegate, who
It looks cute, but I haven't seen
love
it.
her.
Is a national treasure.
treasure.
She
Seriously.
is. She is.
And I conjured this shit up because a couple weeks
Go
ago,
to the sweetest thing.
I
and
just
it's-
said to myself, where
Where
has
is
she been? What is she up
where
to?
has she been all
Where
my
do you
life?
go?
And then she showed up in a
Christina?
car commercial a
Ah,
day later.
Yes.
And then she's
that.
on Dead to Me, which is not a comedy. It is at times very, very funny, but it's a very serious.
Kind of dark.
It's like a
isn't
dark
it?
comedy,
Yeah, but really way more dark. It's got some dark
Oh,
moments, but very, very good, beautifully written. Where I did not see anything coming, and any twist that I thought was coming, I was wrong.
I saw the last one coming. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, I did not at all.
I saw that one coming.
Okay.
I mean, once,
Yeah, I saw that one coming as soon as she opened
but
that
only
safe.
yeah, but I mean, only like 5 seconds ahead.
Oh,
Not-
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, like 2 episodes ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I did not see that coming. Really, really, really well written, clever, and 2 great actresses. I always get Linda's name wrong, so everyone please forgive me.
I had to go look up who she
Linda
was, and I was
Cardellini,
like,
I think is her last name.
yeah, it sounds like cannoli, but it's not.
Um,
Mostly because I love cannolis.
oh.
who surprisingly in 2 Best Picture. Well, Brokeback Mountain didn't win, but she was in Brokeback Mountain. She was in ER for years and years and years, and then she was just in this year's winner, Green Book.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
She was
Yeah.
also the daughter in Legally Blonde on the stand with the whole perm discussion.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Good call.
Yes, yep.
Oh, I went like
Right.
deep dive and looked her up.
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
ooh, wait,
You're
I know this bitch.
absolutely
Yeah.
Right.
Who the fuck? Yeah, she was all of those things.
Yeah,
That's
just a
fantastic.
terrific actress who, again, always.
I loved her on ER.
She's always like
Yeah.
third tree from the left, but really good and kept me interested in ER way after that show should have ended.
Sure.
I
Right.
hung around a
Yeah.
lot longer than
I
any
did too.
human should have
Yeah, I agree.
to the end.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
And but Christina Applegate, and they even let her dance because very few people know that she went to Broadway
Oh.
for the revival of Sweet Charity, and was absolutely
And what a cute little
terrific.
thrown in moment. Like that 38 seconds, I was delighted.
Yeah, so they let her
Okay.
do a dance number to a Fosse-like song.
Ish. I don't
'Cause
remember the song.
I would know it if I heard it. And the funny part is because of something that I'm watching, having British accents, I have to keep turning on the closed captioning. So I ended up watching an episode of that with closed captioning. Whenever they play the song, I'm like, they don't put the song in the fucking credits, but it tells the deaf people what song
it is.
that is underlying the scene.
Fair.
I feel like we're wasting a resource here, but I don't want to judge.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Of course, the deaf people can join PETA in their letter writing campaign. Please reach me at my house
There's
for another sensitive TED Talk.
there is no subtitles for this show. The closed captioning is not happening. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And you can't read my lips today because I've got a Kleenex over for the bulk of the
For
show.
the entire show.
Then, and a delightful, unexpected surprise with no build-up whatsoever, because I'm about 3 weeks behind on my Entertainment Weekly. Wine Country, a new movie
Yeah.
directed by Amy Poehler with Maya Rudolph, just
Oh,
hysterical as ever. Rachel Dratch, and then 3 other women who you know from places, but I couldn't place.
I thought they were all on
any of them.
SNL. I thought that was my
no.
understanding.
No, just Rachel, Tina
Because
Fey.
one is supposed to be like the stand-in for help me.
We don't know who you're
Help
thinking of.
me. Molly and Mike and Molly. Molly.
Melissa McCarthy.
Thank you.
Melissa McCarthy. Yes.
Yeah, the one is like a stand-in for
We
Melissa
took a really
McCarthy.
long way to get there.
Sorry, I
feel-
couldn't. I
Yeah,
couldn't.
but she's never been on.
It's Amy Poehler, Rachel
She's never
Dratch,
been on
Anna
it, no.
Gaster,
Except as Sean Spicer.
Maya Rudolph, Paula Pell, Emily Spivey, Tina
Yeah.
Fey.
Yeah,
That's it.
2 of the
I
women
mean,
I didn't know, but they were very
We're
funny.
down to bartender, so it's
Yeah. But very funny for people of a certain age. Like, the humor is just spot on. the songs just hit
I haven't
every
made the
single
time
thing.
for it yet, but it keeps like
Mm-hmm.
Netflix keeps like shoving that down my throat, and I keep going. I know, in a minute.
Yeah, and another one.
I got a plane ride.
Some
Save
really, really terrific laugh out loud moments. Like there is just some really good humor mixed in with a okay movie.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
they could have done a little bit more.
I don't expect it to be a blockbuster.
Right.
I expect it to be drunk white women in wine country.
Right, and that's exactly what it is. And the best line ever is at one point someone's like, she's like, I didn't come here to learn about wine.
I love it when her and Rachel Dratcher are sitting there with the wine. She's like, taste this. And the guy's like, no.
No,
you don't.
there are no wrong answers.
Even in the previews, there's like two of them walking along, and she's like, "Oh, this is good. What do they call this one?
White wine.
Oh,
it's good.
Fucking delicious. Yeah.
So then she gets, do I taste honeysuckle? First he says there's no wrong answers. And then she lists something and he's like, no. And he's like, you said there were no wrong answers. He like wasn't going with absurd. And she guesses something else. He goes, oh, I taste lemons. No, you should only smell the lemon. She's like, whatever. I taste grapes.
Exhausting journey.
Oh my God.
Right,
It's
right.
very, very funny.
I just love it.
It looks like it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those like light, okay, that was 90 minutes of my life that I just was thoroughly delighted.
And that's a brand of comedy that I'm like signed into. Amy Poehler's involved. Tina
I'm
Fey's there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you get Maya
Take my
Rudolph for
money.
just outright silliness because she just can't
She's
be topped.
funny.
She
has
is
no
hysterical.
There is no
Yeah.
filter on that woman.
Yeah.
There is nowhere she will not go
Yeah.
for a laugh. And I remember at night not knowing who Donatella Versace was and watching that. I think we've talked about this. And I watched that sketch for a while when she would do the Donatella show. And I was like, okay. I mean, I get it. It's kind of funny, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is a real person or I don't know what this is.
Oh.
And then I finally saw an interview with Donna. I was like,
Donatella Versace.
holy shit. Like, just when somebody just makes fun of you to that point of like, you should probably never leave your house again. There's something really going truly wrong. And then I'm all caught up on Fosse Verdon. Oh my God, that show is just a wet dream. Written, produced, and directed
Michelle
for
is-
Al Perkins. Like, I mean, it's seriously just feels like,
Michelle's
you know what,
amazing.
he might have allergies this week. Let's give him 3 hours of television to watch.
I have it all
All right.
recorded. I haven't.
Sure.
Oh,
I'm probably
just
like 2 episodes behind.
and that's another one. It goes by fast. Like the story is great. The inside it's a little inside baseball.
Sure.
Like there's
Which is the thing that I like about it.
yeah. That they're really doing a deep dive and you just have to know who they're talking
Yeah.
about. Like
And I have the internet while I watch TV, so if I don't know who they're talking about, I will
Right,
pause
right.
and I'll be like, wait, who the
Right.
fuck?
Yeah.
That
Now,
makes sense.
now, and I should know his name. I don't. The guy who's playing Fosse.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. When he first, like one of the first things that I saw him in, if it wasn't The Green Mile,
Yeah,
then,
that's the first thing I ever
right,
saw him in.
I just thought, oh, creep. Like he's just creepy, and he plays creepy so well.
So well.
And then it seemed like everything that I was seeing him in was just fucking creepy. And now he's like this actor.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is amazing.
Yeah, I didn't see any of it coming. And when he like somehow they're making him look like he can dance. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
some kind of like voodoo and wizardry or if he really took if he has a dance
No,
background.
I thought
but
there was a dance background. I thought I saw him in an interview say something. There was something there.
Okay.
I haven't seen any kind of interviews with them yet. But wow.
He's really
Like in the
something.
fact that it's the friendship with Neil Simon and Neil Simon's wife, and the Patty Chayefsky thing just cracks me up.
Oh, and what's her name that's playing Neil Simon's wife is brilliant. I love her. She's from that show, You're the Worst,
Yes,
that I'm addicted to.
and
Maya Cash, Aya Cash. I think it's Aya Cash.
I think it's Aya Cash.
Her Instagram is maybe Aya Cash, so I think it's Aya Cash.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, and then so okay, I have allergies, so I've had a lot of time to watch TV, and then I said to stand in front of a camera and talk. So Santa Clarita Diet got canceled. Speechless got canceled. So my friend Jonathan Slavin, that we met at the Donna Summer concert, all his shows been canceled. I feel so bad.
Maybe he's not very good.
No, they're terrific.
The Cool Kids on Fox got canceled.
Bless
Yes.
him.
I mean,
Yeah, which was adorable.
Adorable show.
It was a brutal cancellation. Whiskey Cavalier got canceled. So what's her face is going back
I
to The
wondered
Walking
about
Dead.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
I wondered about that one. But that Cool Kids, I just think is the cutest. I just enjoy that So now I'm pissed because Leslie Jordan is too much.
Yeah, and I really wish I could boycott Netflix in
Yeah.
response to Santa Clarita Diet because I just love that show.
I
But
remember you saying that.
clearly,
yeah.
I'm an addict and
Yeah.
cannot do it.
It's difficult to give up.
But
need a
they ended
program.
it. They ended it at a place that you're like, okay. And I think sometimes like maybe leave yourself a cliffhanger on Netflix.
Sure.
Don't wrap it up so easily. Broad City ended. I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Oh my god. Big Bang Theory ends this week.
Yep.
I mean, I have nothing to watch next year. I'm
Oh,
just gonna,
that's
like, sit
right.
around
Big Bang
stare-
is going away. That's
Wow.
They're
right.
less, no character development for 12 years. So what's going to happen? They're just going to have another meal, but they still make me giggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing
Yeah.
there but just kind of funny people who don't seem to have any real direction in
nerd
life that are
jokes.
just wandering
Sure.
through life making jokes about comic books. But it's like the
Somehow
highest rated
works,
show. Somehow
yeah.
it works. And TBS or WGN, whichever one owns that show in syndication, they don't care. That show still, and I know I've said this 100 times, in syndication, that show still beats like Whiskey Cavalier on ABC. Like
I
when
also was not listening. Which one?
Big Bang Theory in repeats.
Yes. No,
Shows
I
that you've seen
agree,
100
yeah.
times,
Yeah.
that still beats in the ratings.
Sure.
They're
Oh.
making more money on a 19th showing of that than they are original
Yeah.
program. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. And then Veep ended. And
Oh,
How you doing? Are you okay?
you okay?
the vileness. And just when you, like, you always think there's nowhere to go. Like, we've left ourselves no room in human garbage, sacrifice, what shitty things we'll say to one another. Someone dying in the hospital bed goes, you know what to do. And she goes full Trump. Did you watch it?
No.
Oh my God. She, like, there is no one left standing at the end of that episode. She is just a vile human being. So fucking funny. She actually has a Me Too moment that you're not sure who you're mad at. Like, she tells the one guy's assistant that he's fucking, like, just insults her to her face for being a human gash, as she calls her, bent over a desk. Has the gash of least resistance. And convinces the woman to, like, go out and have this Me Too moment about a completely consensual affair, but she is so vile in the way she insults the woman for sleeping with him. Oh my God. And then it just goes on from there, and they fast forward to her funeral, like 30 years, I think it's 26 years later, where they're still arguing about her age, and just so funny. She was 75, but she could have been 76. And then there's also a chance that she's 78. Like, they were like, they could never, because at one point they're like, you know, they want your birth certificate. They need to know how old you are. And one guy goes, I thought it was 53. The other goes 55. And Gary goes, late 40s. You're all right. And she just walks out of the room. But it was so wrong. It was just wrong. And the fact that they made the daughter into her, that slowly over the course of the last 3 seasons, you find out, like, Selena's mother was terrible to her and turned her into the horrible person that she is.
Oh, and so now Catherine's becoming
and
that?
then Catherine becomes the horrible human being, and it was just funny. And the Cloud Botherer was just hysterical through the entire thing. When he's campaigning in Pennsylvania, and you're the number 2 state for vaccine, you're number 2 in anti-vaccinations or lack of vaccination. When I become president, you're going to be number 1.
The anti-vaxxers.
Oh my God. And the spread of chickenpox through the anti-vaxxer community is just, it's so fucking wrong. But it's so, like,
Timely.
tomorrow's headline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That some anti-vaxxer is going to hug a baby and give measles to an
Yeah.
entire crowd.
Yeah. Oh.
Just wrong.
Oh,
And then when they list all the anti-vaxxers, and you were like, and we're probably getting in trouble because I've heard that it really isn't anything to do with the Orthodox Jews. That is just some kind of a dirty rumor that's going around. But they ran with it, and they're like, it's the college-educated whites, the Orthodox Jews, and some other group of people that were the anti-vaxxers. And it was so spot on and so awful the way he described it. Just awful. Just be prepared to be offended. When you watch that show, just make sure that everyone knows, turn down the volume. You've never heard worse language in your entire life.
Okay.
But they pulled off 70 episodes, or 68 episodes, of just sheer genius. So wrong. So I made it through that twice in a row because I was like, okay, I'm not going to pause it. I'm just going to watch this all the way through no matter how fast the jokes go.
Right.
I'm just going to keep going. And then I was like, I need a second watching.
What did I miss?
And then did we talk about falsettos and the people leaving in the middle of it?
No, you talked about it Saturday at Cobalt, but we haven't talked about it here.
So, interesting show from originally from the 70s. The original one-act play was called like In Trousers or something.
I was surprised that you didn't know it.
I was too.
Well, because I just didn't know what it was about, and I wasn't going to buy it till I saw it, and I just never thought 30 years would pass or 20-some years would pass before I saw it. So I had seen in my college, at Buff State's like acting class, they did Extremities was one of the plays that the students did, and the other one was In Trousers, and it was this weird musical about a kid wanting to get into the Columbus Day parade or Columbus Day show or some shit. But when he's grown up, he wants to leave his wife, who's just called Woman or something. Like, she doesn't even have a name for Whizzer, who has a name. It's Whizzer. So we didn't spend a lot of time on names. And then I forgot all about it. It was just one of those interesting things that there was a couple of plays that they did through the course of my freshman year of college. So I was like, oh, that's some interesting theater.
Right.
Thought nothing of it. And then I saw on the Tonys that Falsettos and March of the Falsettos had become one show, or Falsetto Land and March of the Falsettos, whatever it is, became one show. And saw the thing on the Tonys.
Right.
It was always like, someday I'm going to see that
Looks
and find
cute,
out
right.
what that's about, because it seems very cute. Oh, it's a dark piece. And it was written like in the times. So the first one that I saw was just a late 70s musical with really bizarre backstory about a guy wanting to leave his wife for a gay guy. But it was all very like, I just want to be gay. Like, I did the wife thing. It's not for me.
So that became the first act.
Yeah, but they got rid of almost all the songs because there
Okay.
was a song about rape in there. It was just it was a bizarre show that I don't remember a lot of details except for Whizzer, because I thought that was
Right.
such a weird name.
What a weird name.
And so they like cleaned it up and made it that first show, and then unfortunately the AIDS epidemic came along and they did a second act with a lot of repercussions. So it got very sad and very dark and very much about like the little boy growing up and finding like his logical family, and it's really tough. And the first act is so fighty, arguing like,
Yeah.
okay, who is the therapist here? Is it me? Or am I, you know what I mean? Like, it's very like, it's not quite as good as, but it's like a long day's journey into night with songs. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, this is one family's torturous journey.
Oh, totally. There's that number that the wife does that's called I'm Breaking Down.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough.
Which, so I saw the filmed Broadway cast in like a movie theater, right? Because they
Uh-huh.
do that sometimes. So I made Sharon sit through it. She likes it when I say on a Wednesday, hey, you want to go see dinner and a movie?
And then it's that.
Right.
She's going to be onto your game.
2 for 2,
Yeah.
it's
Right,
musicals and subpar hamburgers. She doesn't like it at all. But Stephanie J. Block played that part and just brilliantly did that. And then the other one that I like from that half is it's a really fighty song. It's This Has Got to Come to a Stop, or This Had Better Come to a
Oh,
Stop.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was brutal and tough, and like, it took its toll on you.
Yeah.
That second act was,
By the
That
end, you
was
just
rough.
can't talk anymore. You're like,
Yeah.
"Blah, blah, blah."
and about half the audience left at intermission.
Yeah.
I was really like surprised, and they should have stayed because the second act was less arguey and more like, although the story got sadder, I thought the songs got better. But again,
Okay.
written over, so that's the same songwriter going at it again from his late 70s about the rape of, I don't know, it's something to do with Columbus Day. So I've got to find. I've heard that there is.
Both very popular topics these
Yeah,
days.
Yeah,
rape
I've
and
heard,
Columbus Day.
I've heard there's a cast recording out there
Is it
somewhere.
Indigenous Peoples Rape Day?
Yeah, I've heard there's a cast recording out there somewhere of In Trousers, and I have not gotten around to like that part of the internet to find out.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
And then if we'll get to Death Den, I may be on this soon, but the side of my face just explodes.
It happens to be the off-Broadway cast from 1979.
Well, they were
that you're
all
looking
off Broadway until they got put together as one.
Right. So the one you're looking for In Trousers is available.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's out there. I'm on Amazon, so we can check iTunes. But yeah, it's out there.
Oh, I'd be curious because, yeah, I mean, there was some rough stuff. Like at 18 years old, we saw Extremities, which is the guy that breaks into the house to attack the woman, and then she beats the shit out of him.
Yep.
And we watched that on stage, and like, it was brutal. I was like, This is theater.
I'm in.
Where's the Nazis?
Jesus.
I wonder if I can get this on Spotify.
All right, so I'll let you. I'll handle the first one. I'll handle one of them, and you guys talk with the other two. So Peggy Lipton, mother of wife of Quincy Jones, mother of Rashida Jones from The Office and Parks and Recreation, and she of the Mod Squad, her own famous career.
That's right.
Died this weekend.
Oh.
At age 70-something, lovely, lovely woman, and the cover of TV Guide many, many times for that groundbreaking role. And I just love that when I found out Rashida Jones was her daughter, I'm like, well, that makes sense why she's so pretty.
Sure.
Oh.
Her mom was a knockout. And then the Doris Day, all my hopes of kidnapping an animal and holding it hostage, and till she came out and sang me one more song. Oh, we should have
Those days have
perhaps
passed.
ready. You should find perhaps.
Well, wouldn't Que Sera Sera be more?
Oh,
That's
I know.
I mean, whatever will be, will be.
Apparently not that one.
That seems insufficient.
From The Man Who Knew Too Much, where Alfred Hitchcock is one of the rare people that ever remade his own movie. So there is a black and white 30s version, and then it's remade in color with Doris Day. And the plot device is, so it's one of those times where that song actually fits into the movie because she has to keep singing it loud enough, or the little boy, somebody has to sing it loud enough that somebody knows that they're in the house and they can rescue the person by singing, who keeps singing Que Sera Sera by the end of the songs. So by the time that movie's over, you've heard that song enough times in your life for your entire life.
Oh, I didn't realize that because I've never seen that movie.
Right. Very, very few people know that it comes from an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Yeah.
And, ad nauseum, they go on with that song. Whatever will be, will be. So, and then she also had perhaps.
Yeah.
Which,
So for those who don't know who Doris Day is, this is one of the pictures. I thought that was a great picture of her.
yeah, a little bit
A
later.
little later, right? Not a young,
But she was one of the greatest big band singers of all time, and was the singer for many famous bands that transitioned into movies, and she had a huge career in the movies. She made fun romantic comedies with Rock Hudson and Tony Randall, and she made a great movie called Midnight Lace with Rex Harrison. Like, she's a great one. If I'm sure Turner Classic Movie is going to have a day with her soon. Watch Pillow Talk. Watch The Man Who Knew Too Much.
Right.
The song's annoying. The performance is terrific. Midnight Lace is all noirish and sexy. And
Well, that'd be fun. Doris Day Day.
I love it. Que Sera Sera was the name of the lesbian bar at Long Beach. Nice.
See if we get hit for this one because we get hit for everything else.
You won't admit you love me, and so how am I ever?
Yeah, she had great, and she did.
You always tell
Right here.
me, perhaps.
I love it.
Million times I
Yes.
asked you.
And I'm sure there are other things that she was in that I don't realize because I feel like she was never on my watch list of anything when I was younger. I remember the name. I've known it forever. Did she have a brother? Was Dennis Day related to her or no?
Not that I know of, but her son is Terry Melcher is part of the whole, is the start of the whole Helter Skelter story.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
Because her son worked with the Beach Boys and was one of the people that was that Charles Manson was auditioning for, making recordings for, and he was hoping to make a record with Terry Melcher, and that's whose house Sharon Tate was in. But they had moved,
And they were
the new renters.
right.
But it was her son is part of the whole Helter Skelter story.
So that's who he was in.
That's who
in
he was
essence,
really
going
after. Yeah. But then they just
Oh, how about that?
because he didn't go in the house, nobody knew who they
And
were
then
after.
the Folgers and Sharon Tate and all them were there instead. Wow.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Oh, bless you, dear.
That's how. And this is how we lost Al.
Yeah.
A sneezing incident.
Every year.
My God.
It's true. We can go back to
Righteous.
We can go back to this time last year. And
Yeah, so
he'll be
Oh,
doing
probably
this.
so. Right.
Yeah. We should just Joe. Could you get on that? Just make sneezing.
I love it
sneezing
that Doris Day
episodes.
was much more than America's Virgin. The articles about her goody two shoes image are just hysterical. And
And actually, she's another one of those people that married poorly, and her husband lost everything that she had, like in the 60s.
Yeah, I think it was her
Second husband, yes. I didn't know that until I was reading some reports today. Either today or yesterday, I forget which one, but I was like, yeah, wow. Another one, like the Judy Garland thing. She just kept losing everything, marrying the wrong people.
Oh, and the documentary, that was the other thing I watched. The documentary on HBO, Bright Lights, of Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds.
Okay.
Where they talk about Eddie Fisher being the Coca-Cola spokesperson, and then they don't put down the fucking Coca-Cola for the entire show. They have Carrie Fisher has a cigarette and a Coca-Cola in her hand in every single shot, and she really still can sing. She sings like 2 or 3 songs through it.
Well, not anymore.
No, not anymore. But in the movie, she's still singing.
Less singing today.
Slightly less.
But I was always curious about that because Postcards from the Edge was about the two of them, written by Carrie Fisher, and Debbie Reynolds really wanted to play herself in that movie, and the studio went with Shirley MacLaine. But there's the thing where she says, you really should be a singer. You've got a much better voice than that Madonna.
Oh.
And that's what she
I
says
don't
to her.
remember that. Okay.
So they show her like performing at her mom's nightclub acts, and then Carrie Fisher says, "My mom is pissed off that I don't have a cabaret. I never put together a cabaret act. Like she's convinced I could have never gone underwater.
been a star.
That if I could have just stayed in like the cabaret circuit." So her mom's last show, she performs and sings a song, and then at a party, just like in Postcards from the Edge, while everyone's sitting there, sing us another one, and it was just hysterical that she was singing "The Man That Got Away" and like pulls it off. I mean, somebody's feeding her the lyrics, but she sounds terrific, even like with a cigarette and a Coca-Cola in her hand.
She had a little bit of a gravelly voice.
Yeah, the voice still worked. So that was very good. And then now, Tim Conway, take it away.
Well, there's nothing much to take away. Just
He's dead.
Such a just another comic genius. Mr. Tudball and the slowest. Oh, everything he did. Like so many characters, but
amazing.
Al Roker posted today, and I agree. It's like the best 9 minutes you'll ever watch on YouTube is him and Tim Conway during the dentist. That whole thing. Oh. And Corman knew nothing about what he was bringing to ever. But specifically with that one with the Novocaine, he'd never seen the Novocaine in rehearsals. Yeah. So when Conway brings the Novocaine out, he has no idea that he was going to shoot himself in the hand and the leg and the face, lose it all, and then just go completely limp during it. And he says it in an interview. Tim Conway said in interviews that if you watch closely, if the lighting, if whatever screen you're watching it on, you can actually see Harvey Korman piss himself.
Yeah.
Because he's laughing so hard.
Oh my God.
He's laughing so hard.
I'm pretty sure that I did in living rooms, like watching him. So I can't imagine being
there and trying to keep a straight face.
And I sat today and watched the entire that scene where it's they're doing a Mama's Family scene before it was the TV series when they was on the show, and he does the thing about the Siamese elephants and the Kishnorki. I'm laughing hysterically because they all just lose it. They all lose it. And that's the one where
I
Carol
don't know
Burnett.
how he kept the straight. I mean, he was so good.
He kept going, and that's the one where Carol Burnett finally gets to Vicki Lawrence and says, "Mama, you want to do something?" She goes, "Is that asshole done?" And they all just fall off. Yes. But oddly, I didn't know about this, and you may know something about this. I found this. Apparently in some movie or a show, actually Doris Day and Tim Conway were together in something. I just
how interesting.
thought it was interesting that and she's singing to him in this, according to what it said in the caption of the picture, but I don't recall what it is.
Oh, no, yeah.
But I thought that was a cute one that they were together at some point and just died a day apart.
And she's just so dark, even in that picture.
And his real name was
Yeah, she's
Tom.
beautiful.
His real name is Tom Conway. But when Rose Marie discovered him, who just passed away recently.
Oh,
That
I
appears to
didn't
be
realize that.
Doris
Okay.
Day Today from 1975. It's a 1-hour musical comedy special showcasing Doris Day with guest stars John Denver and Tim Conway.
Ah, that explains the other picture with him, Tim Conway, and John
Which I would have
Denver.
never missed. 'Cause,
All three dead.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
And 3 people that if you told me they're on TV, I would have like
I
parked
watched
myself
it,
there
right.
for the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just sit here and wait. I don't want to take any
Right.
chances.
I don't want to miss it.
I don't need to leave the house.
But no, but Rose Marie is the one who discovered him because she was auditioning
That's
for something
wild.
back east.
Okay.
And she went to record something or whatever, and there was a voice like in the producer's booth or the director's booth, and kept saying, "Are you Rose Marie?" And she'd say, "Yeah, I'm Rose Marie." She'd deliver the line. He'd say, "Well, do it right, do it again." Like, and she's like, "Who the hell is that?"
Oh, funny.
And they met, and then apparently she thought he was funny and gave I'm assuming an audio tape back in the day of him to Steve Allen, Steve Allen said, let's get him out here, and brought him to California, and the rest is history.
Yeah, he wouldn't become a regular on the Carol Burnett show. He always did.
Guess.
He always missed one episode a year, so he could be guest star.
Oh.
Because he wanted to be contractually able to do other things. He didn't want to be like
that's smart.
locked in.
Huh.
And so like it was only like the last 2 years that he was on there. But there is an episode
he's
where
funny.
Harvey Korman is trying to buy fish, or Tim Conway's trying to buy fish at a fish market.
It's Harvey Korman trying to buy it, and he's behind the counter as the salesman.
And making all the fish faces. And I just remember, and how I watched that show without a DV, like a VCR, DVR, because there was so much of that you would miss. It would be like 5 minutes later before you could hear anything again over everybody just stupid
Howling.
fucking laughing.
We this is one of those times that it takes me back to being a kid, and that where you can picture where you were and certain smells. I mean, just all kinds of like hear people that aren't still with us. Like I
Right.
can. There's one I just sent you that I that I have on right now, and it's Tim Conway and Harvey Korman, Fire at Will, it's called. And from when I was little, watching this at my grandma's in Iowa, and I remember her, like I can just hear her
Oh yeah,
laughing, and all of us.
yeah.
Like you said, how you get to a certain point where you just couldn't hear anything for a while. But it's he and Harvey Korman trying to load a cannonball into a cannon.
Yes, I know. Yes.
And and I'm watching. He was too much.
Yeah.
I never did understand that the little things that he did after
The Dorf on golf.
yeah, we're right. I never got into that or paid
Yeah.
attention, but you could sit me down even today in front of any of the just play the Carol Burnett show, and I'll be entertained for the whole time. You can't not be. It was amazing, that show, and again, sights, sounds, all of it just takes me right back to
So very funny.
being in my grandma's living room, just watching that.
It's like I remember laying on the floor of the living room back in the day, and I can still feel the shag carpet digging into my elbows as I sat on the floor in front of the TV, or laid on the floor in front of the TV.
Absolutely, and just hearing those sounds, like this being on, there are very.
And I feel like it was Saturday nights, and it was just appointment television.
It
Like you just
absolutely
you
was.
were not going to miss it.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Bob Newhart used to. They said there was the entire evening because it was. I forget what all the shows were.
It was Mary Tyler Moore, Bob
Yeah.
Newhart, Room 222.
Right.
That's right. The Odd Couple. That was all
something
that,
on there, and he said they referred to it as Murderers Row.
Yeah.
That's what they called that night of TV.
because it was so good.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's absolutely right.
Yeah,
it was
Saturday night of like, why would you need a life? Why would you
Yeah.
date anybody?
Yeah, and
Look what you're missing.
if you guys in the chat room, if you get the chance, you can go on to the YouTubes and just put in Tim Conway, Harvey Korman, Fire at Will.
Or anything with the two of them, yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
But that's one that just feels like it gets forgotten, and I'm just
and
loving this.
the Mrs. Tudball and the or Mr. Tudball and
Mrs. Wiggins.
Mrs. Wiggins.
And he-
When she's climbing up the ladder, and he's like, from behind you, look like Dolly Parton from the front. I was like,
He tried to
wow.
explain the intercom to her.
Oh yeah, and her fingernails.
Mrs. Wiggins.
I used to say that about Harrison. When I first met Harrison, her fingernails. Nobody, Mrs. Wiggins.
Yeah, he was absolutely a comedic genius.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely.
Well, and I didn't realize it had been the last thing he did on camera. Remember the according to what I read today. Remember, gosh, not quite a year, maybe about a year ago. I took Mom and we saw the Rosemary documentary.
Oh,
I forget what the title of it was, but anyway, he was part of that. From what I understand, that was the last on-camera thing he did was the interviews for that documentary.
Because I feel like he was too sick.
Because he
well,
was
didn't
to
he
be at
had
that-
dementia? Correct.
that I don't know.
he had
It said long
dementia.
illness, but I don't know what that means.
He didn't have dementia, but he had like normal cephalic hydrocephaly or something like that.
I'm gonna break that down for
Okay,
the
Gesundheit.
comment.
so the
He had
water on the
on
brain.
his, water on the brain.
But I
from
thought
what
that was something that you only got at birth. I'm an idiot.
No, you get it
I
anytime.
really did. I
Yeah.
thought babies were born hydrocephalic.
I mean, you can, and then you get the little tube that goes down and
Yeah,
drains in your
I
kidneys.
honestly didn't know that became a thing later on.
But
That's
from
weird.
what I read, he had that, but they were very clear that he didn't have dementia. But it didn't make any sense because he said he couldn't take care of himself and he was pretty much incapacitated
Oh wow.
because he wasn't at the Carol Burnett tribute
Right.
that Kevin Spacey allegedly wasn't at either. Because all of a sudden everything with Kevin Spacey hosted
Got
it.
edited out
and
of
they
it.
got edited out of
Yeah.
it. So it ended up
It was
being-
terrible anyway.
It ended up being terrible because Harvey Korman's dead.
Yeah.
Vicki
yeah.
Lawrence was only there briefly. So it
It
ended
was
up
all entirely too staged and scripted.
right.
Sure.
Like all
Oh.
of these funny people on this stage, and they're basically
Well,
reading off
everything
a
for Carol
teleprompter.
anymore
That was
is
awful.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh
anymore
no, but it was
is-
everybody else that made it horrible. Like Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
who had a genuine affection for her. There was people
Yeah.
that had genuine affection,
Right.
but it was scripted in a way that you like. Oh god,
Even
this is-
apparently
Even
Steve
Kristen
Carell
Chenoweth was
like a-
awful. Like,
Oh.
But you're wondering
Well,
if like questions
awful.
if questions posed by Kevin Spacey had been edited out and they had to like revise it and make it seem like conversation
Sure.
when it clearly was not.
Sure.
maybe.
So
Okay.
Either way, I thought all those people were better actors.
oh, it
Right.
was painful except for the clips.
Yeah.
All right, on to our next segment. I don't have a theme, but someday we'll come up with a theme for this.
Or maybe we'll.
It's
Or
just
maybe
tick, tick,
not.
tick, 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 tick,
It's
tick,
the new segment that we've got because Kat knows how to put things together. We call it the Wheel of the Week, and it goes something like this.
I love that it works.
Well, yeah.
Still
Why
amazing.
would I put a wheel together that doesn't work?
Because
That's
you know the
silly.
one on the show that we're
First
stealing it
topic
from
is
doesn't work.
Hadestown.
Hadestown. Tony Awards are coming.
Okay.
It's time to study.
Okay.
Hadestown, the soundtrack, is available on
I don't know
your
what
usual.
Hadestown is.
It's a
Tell me.
Broadway musical that's been
No, I
nominated
hear
for
you.
some Tonys, which is
About
why
I don't know
Hades,
anything
a
about
town.
it.
about a
So can we
town
talk
called
about it?
Hades, allegedly hell.
Yeah.
And I want the people to know
Go
that
with
they
that.
should be studying. Do it. I've listened to a little bit of the soundtrack. I'm delighted so far. I don't know a ton, but I want all the people to start your research, people. It's time.
All
It's
right.
coming.
And I've heard
Tick, tick, tick.
really, really good things about Tootsie.
Uh-huh.
Just that the songs are kind of generic. That the songs, but they don't need them. Like it should have just been a straight play.
Oh,
I would believe
okay.
that.
I can see that.
That they're
sure.
saying like the actor
Who
who's
wrote
from
the music for Tootsie?
Stephen Bishop.
Stephen Bishop and Christopher
no,
Cross.
just that's who wrote
The song from
Tootsie.
Tootsie.
Oh god.
Oh,
if
right.
I wasn't so strung out on drugs.
Might be you.
Something's
Telling
telling
me it might be you all of my life. Do
Wow.
you.
That is one of the greatest.
It's
Larry
you.
Gelbart, who wrote MASH.
Oh God, that's fucking. Song.
And
Love that
wrote
song.
City of Angels, one of my favorite musicals. That is one of the best scripts ever written for a movie.
Oh,
So I'm hoping they
so
didn't do too much changing. But if you pay close attention to how everything that movie comes full circle, in the beginning of the movie, when he's playing the piano trying to get laid,
Okay.
and he bangs out that song to get the woman's attention, and then it goes wrong because she's like, "Oh, you're a player," but then he plays it when he says he can play the piano to Charles Durham.
Yep.
That's the song he plays, and Charles Durham falls in love with him.
That's right.
And it's just hysterical
right.
that it's that same song
Oh my God.
that he
sure.
uses, like, and the fact that he won't hold the baby in the first part, and like everything comes around. Everything in that movie comes back at him as a woman that he fucked up as a man.
So Tootsie the musical, music and lyrics written by David Yazbek,
Who gave us
who gave us The Band's Visit, Woman on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, The Full Monty.
and then didn't he do Titanic too? Mm-mm. He had a big one in the 90s. Real big one in the 90s.
I got, well, this is just awards and nominations. Hang on. No, I got nothing for him in the 90s. Nothing at all.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So promising, because Woman on the Verge is fantastic. I love that one. So anyway, Tonys are coming. Study. Go look up Hadestown. Go look up. Now I have to go look up Tootsie. God damn it! Now I have more homework.
All
I was
right.
giving you homework, and now I got
I
homework.
appreciate the homework.
All
Damn
right,
it.
so we're gonna move
Damn
on
it.
back to the Wheel of the Week.
What the
Spin
fuck?
again.
Spin it again. What does it say?
Demi Lovato comeback.
Get
Okay.
this.
So she's sober. Maybe.
So she's sober. Absolutely. And
Get
has
this.
just get this. So I'm scrolling through Instagram the other day, like you do.
Of course.
And here comes a picture of Demi Lovato, which happens occasionally. She doesn't post like she used to, but happens occasionally because I follow her,
Of course.
as I should.
Duh. Yeah.
And there she is. Looks like she's signing a contract with a new manager.
Oh.
Why would she need a new manager if she's
I
not going to
wonder
do more
why.
work?
Who knows?
She's coming
can
back to
say?
me, guys.
There
She's
you
coming
go.
back to me.
So
All about you.
follow-up
I
question:
see
why
it.
is she missing?
Rehab.
Okay, so but and that was it. Like it
No,
wasn't one of those I
no,
went.
no.
Yeah. I
Oh,
went-
but it was like big time relapse rehab. Like she wrote a song about how she relapsed.
Yeah. Before she relapsed.
About not being
Right?
sorry about it as she was relapsing. Like she was
Right.
already relapsed,
Yeah.
wrote a song
Yeah.
and fucking performed it that said,
Fuck you.
"Sorry, but I'm
Yep.
fucked up,
Yeah.
guys."
Yeah.
Were basically the lyrics. Like I'm paraphrasing here.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Wilmer Valderrama came in, whisked her away,
Yeah.
held her hand all the way through rehab.
Oh.
If I write a song about
Yeah.
being fucked up, will Wilmer Valderrama show up where I am?
I'll call him.
Well,
Yeah, I'll
That's
ask
not
him.
the
could
answer I was
happen.
looking for, but
It could happen. Oh,
Maybe.
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 You don't know. You don't
you
know.
don't know.
I bet it's cost less than $1 million
Hey,
to get him here.
girl.
I'll bet it does cost less than $1 million to get
So
him
we
here.
know what Clayton wants for his birthday. I'll get on that. Apple
I don't know. It might not cost less than $1
Appletinis,
million.
anyone?
Little Wilmer.
Oh, I
don't
just
know.
saw her yesterday. We got to talk. I got to sneeze through a conversation
Okay.
with you too.
Okay. great.
Bless you.
All right.
Spin it again. Demi Lovato's
Spin
coming
again.
back. I'm very excited.
No whammies. Big money. Big money.
Big money.
Oh, we already talked about
There
this
you go.
though.
Right, spin it again.
Do it.
It was delightful.
Okay.
Eh,
It's got 2 more episodes.
something like that.
Is the wheel too much responsibility? What? What is this?
That's
So I'm
ridiculous.
worried.
That's ridiculous.
What?
I'm worried about the future of the wheel.
It's ridiculous.
You mean wheels in general or
No,
this specific one?
This one in general. Is
Why?
This may
Why?
be too much responsibility for
For
me.
you? No.
Why?
I
you
feel
already-
like I'm.
you
feel like I'm
bailed
not
out
doing
of
a very good
everything
job.
else.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, God
You
damn
walk
it.
in
This
and
is
ask
my-
us what to put on the wheel.
Yeah, but why
This
can't
is
we
my
just put stuff on
point
the wheel?
exactly. Well, you could.
You can.
Right.
All you got to do is message her and tell her to
Yeah.
put this on the wheel.
Well,
you-
there.
Which is really
Would you
what
like
she
to-
wants to happen because she
Exactly.
doesn't have to think of anything.
Would you like to be in charge of it?
No.
right.
Because then we won't
But
get
in
it
your
till after,
absence,
way
I will be.
later.
I will be
It'll be way
first
too late.
alternative to the wheel topic.
You'll be the first
Because
alternate.
I'm like, why don't you just fucking, you just ask us when we get here?
Yeah, and I think that works out perfectly.
I mean, right?
I don't
Like,
know.
it's fine.
I'm very worried that this
You
wave
should
That was
be.
very
is
meta.
resting.
You
That was
shouldn't.
very meta.
Yeah, we've already talked about that
Because
one.
I think it's very timely, because if we put the stuff
Talked
on
about
right
that
away,
one.
Items on that. Did I even put anything else on there?
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
you have one other thing.
All right, well, let me-
No, you have one other
Let
thing.
me just go at 2 topics.
Okay,
No, 'cause
2
I
topics.
got- I
go.
got-
Oh my God, I can't.
It only goes to
Go.
Posse Burn. So the first topic, can't remember, but it was fabulous.
Good job.
So we had talked a couple weeks ago in this wheel business about losing the right to vote, and I was too tired, drunk, annoyed to put in my 2 cents. But I do want to say
Me. What do you mean? Losing the right to vote?
that there was
We're
the
talking about the
prison.
Bernie and the prisoner thing.
Bernie saying
Oh, okay.
that everybody in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to make sure, and this is my what I thought was a very coherent point at the time, but I couldn't express it. I want Michael Cohen especially and Roger Stone especially to lose their rights to vote. I want it to happen to rich white men. Like, I want them to have the felony charge and serve their time, and when they're done with jail, sure, they can have their right back. They've done their time, but I want those two to be disenfranchised. Like, they have fucked up the electoral process. So no, I'm not for everybody in prison getting the vote.
So where do you draw the line?
Huh?
Where is the line?
When
Is
you're out
it-
of prison, when you've served your time,
Oh, once you get out, you get to vote
you
again.
get to vote again. Yeah, you've done your time. You're supposed to
seems
be
fair.
rehabilitated. You may have you should get all your rights
And if
back.
you go right back into jail, then
you lose it
your right
again.
of it.
All right.
I mean, that
Yeah, it's
it seemed to
But while-
very much bother
while
the
in
person
prison-
who was on my right that evening, and so I just kind of went.
yeah. But if
Because I respectfully disagree
yeah.
that everybody should have that right. That there isn't a line to be drawn.
Yeah, because that line
Because-
becomes it's too hard.
There is no, you can't just this and that.
Yeah.
that
Like
kind of
that Larry,
subject.
what's his fuck, the guy that raped all the people at Michigan State. You're
Right.
out. No, you don't get to vote.
yeah.
So
Well,
I mean,
and the thing is that
Sandusky.
for those
Sandusky.
him too. That's the other one.
Right.
One
No,
other
the
one.
gymnast
one
one.
for the gymnast.
The gymnast
Oh,
at Michigan
Larry
State.
Nasser.
Larry Nasser.
Larry
That
something like
guy.
that.
I was thinking of Penn State.
Doesn't
I'm
get the
sorry.
Me too. I was
Like,
with
I
you on
was
that.
so
Penn State.
quick. I was so quick that
Yeah.
night to be like, oh no, you're not voting either.
Yeah.
You're out. You're off. No.
No, but I think that the issue is that then you have folks that are in for the bullshit crimes.
But those are the
drug
crimes
crimes
that have to stop being felonies.
Exactly.
That's the
and
answer.
So and that's
What about
the
that
answer.
turnpike? What about the turnpike fine guy?
Absolutely can keep his right to vote.
All right, good.
But that and now there's
Is it a felony?
No, it's not.
I don't
There
know. It's
you have it.
$120,000.
So they're
No,
keeping
because
their
he
right
said
to
it was a
vote.
misdemeanor. It was a misdemeanor
they're
charge with
keeping their
5
right
years
to vote.
probation.
It's fine.
So that's the difference. So all of these low-level crimes, if you're currently because you're in those
Yep.
god-awful Rockefeller laws,
Oh.
Yep.
drop those to misdemeanors. You get your right to vote. Even if you're in jail, if it was just a misdemeanor, you can vote.
Sure.
But felony, like Michael Cohen and those other bullshit fuckers, nah, you out.
I like it.
All right.
Yep. I'm not mad about that. I agree.
Oh,
There-
Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy.
Uh-huh.
Turns out the cold medicine's kicking in. That Ted Bundy movie. What's it called? Shockingly Evil and Twistedly Wrong.
Oh, sure.
With what's his cutie pants?
Oh,
Okay.
for real. Yeah.
What? Okay, I know you're never gonna watch it. Just
Fucking
watch.
real.
Just look
You
at.
should.
You
Like,
should.
there's no two ways
but
about
just
it.
look at side by side comparisons
Ah.
of what's his name, Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
And Ted Bundy. And at first, because I said it, I'm like, nah, you can't be the
You
guy
can't.
that's so cute he was made in a lab and play
Yeah.
Ted Bundy. And then you realize how shockingly similar they look without
Yeah.
makeup.
And it
Like every
Ted-
once in a
because
while, he'll
Ted
shoot a look and you're like,
Bundy-
no!
Yeah. And Ted Bundy at the like when I see pictures, right? It's the 70s, and so you're like, but he was a good-looking guy.
But then all of a sudden, you'll see a picture, you're like,
Yes.
oh, I see it. He was kind of, he was
Absolutely.
handsome.
'Cause he was
and then
like-
all of a sudden, you'll see it in Zac
Yeah.
Efron's face, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, he's that good of an actor. He
Yeah.
really does have a creepy similarity.
Yeah.
It was creepy
That
because
is
it caught me
creepy.
twice that I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It was a lady boner killer. I'm just telling you.
Gosh, I should hope so.
For Zac
We're,
Efron, not for Ted Bundy.
on
Right.
Wednesday night, just as an aside, something you didn't talk about in not that you would have, but in entertainment, Mom and I are gonna go see that Palms movie. The
Oh, cute. With
the-
Diane
Diane
Keaton.
Keaton and
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're
I
gonna-
asked my mom if she wanted to go, and she's like, absolutely not.
yeah, Mom wants to see it, and so we're
Because
gonna
it's
go
written
to.
by the same people who did the book club story thing with.
We never saw that. Yeah.
She said that sucked too.
Well, I can believe
She said the
that. but-
previews are the only thing that's good at the whole
Right,
movie.
right, and I remember that, but we never did go see that. This one,
She'll be disappointed for the first time. That's
yeah,
exciting.
exactly. We'll be disappointed this
I
one.
always-
But we haven't been to a movie. Like Mom
Yeah.
and I haven't gone to a movie
And
in forever.
honest
So
to God-
we're gonna go to AMC and
Plus,
do like eat,
Diane Keaton
eat
makes a
dinner.
movie. They get my money. It's a
Sure.
fair.
Well, that
I
was,
understand.
and that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's Diane Keaton. I'll
Yeah.
go. And I asked Mom, and she's like, "Nah, I know who wrote it. Like,
Yeah.
same people." Like,
Sure.
no, okay.
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. So we're gonna go see that and do like the birthday, Mother's Day, blah blah blah, all of it, kind of thing. So that's one thing. Second thing that was on that fucking wheel that I think we should bitch
Oh
about.
yes.
I really think
That was
we
my
should
number
spend
2.
some time and fucking bitch about.
Alabama and Georgia.
Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah.
Alabama just passed a near total abortion ban with no exceptions for rape or incest. Whereas Georgia, give them props because at least they had something written in for rape and rape and incest.
And there's something on the
What the
internet that I haven't had
fuck?
time to find out if it's true. Did Indiana really just force? Are they really forcing like a young rape victim to carry a baby to term in Indiana?
I can believe it's true
I
because that's
saw
what
something
Pence
like
wanted
that.
for a long time. That's where that periods for Pence thing.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
one of the big things.
Well, he was one that you needed to have a burial for.
Absolutely.
Ugh. It's abhorrent. Like
Well, the Georgia thing. Did you hear the fucking cunt that was standing up there talking about? Well, John Oliver. You had to have heard the.
I'm a
the
week
whole thing
behind
with-
John Oliver.
Fuck! This woman sat up there and spoke for fetus, a baby named Fetus, and spoke for it. Quote, she says.
Wow.
What the fuck? John Oliver had a field day with that. You dumb bitch. I gotta tell you, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these people. Nobody is like, hey, let's go out and just, nobody is like,
It's
just
the
suck
Cadillac
babies out.
of
Just
badge
suck babies
vax.
out.
Yeah.
Nobody is just running around trying to promote this. But these fuckers, I
Yeah.
can't. I'm sorry. It just got me all like, I'm all kinds of heated up about this.
And if they watch Veep, they've killed themselves. So don't worry.
I don't know what makes these people. It was a 25-6 vote in Alabama in the state Senate for this bill.
Right. I mean,
Now the governor still has to sign it, but
yeah.
I mean,
And was that 25-6 split all party line?
Oh yeah, and he's a cousin fucker, the governor, I'm sure.
It's a she. K-I-V.
Oh, that was Festus, Ginny.
Yeah.
Festus. Oh, got it. Never mind. I didn't read the full. Got it. Sorry.
Oh, that's
Hi,
so wrong.
Michael. So yeah, I'm sorry that I'm just stuttering
No,
over this
no.
because I
So-
don't even.
No, the
Right.
rage is real.
It's good.
A doctor, it criminalizes the procedure, reclassifying an abortion as a Class A felony, no voting, by the way, punishable by up to 99 years in prison for doctors.
Oh, and then the one in Georgia
So-
where if you cross the state line to get an abortion, they chase you down and.
Yes.
I mean, the Handmaid's Tale. It's
It's
real.
happening right now.
Yeah.
Well, because this is one of the
Abortions are
well,
like
it's
the
one of the
Holocaust.
most effective ways to keep women
Sure.
from gaining power and gaining any momentum. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yep.
this is one of the ways that men can keep women down.
Literally barefoot and pregnant.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
Then they get the
Yeah.
women convinced to support it too, and that's when you're like, what the fuck?
That baffles
Well,
me
Alabama
every time.
state lawmakers are comparing abortions in the U.S. to the Holocaust and other modern genocides in legislation, prompting Jewish activists and abortion rights groups to rebuke the legislation as deeply offensive. May I just? That's what's deeply offensive?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to sit down now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean,
because there are less and less ways for ignorant old white men to put other people down.
yeah.
So they have to latch onto the ways that they know that,
just
that
gotta-
they know that they can.
a speedy death to all of them. Like, just fucking die already.
Yeah, but they're not.
Right. They're not, because now we've got all these young fuckers on the Supreme
Correct.
Court that when this goes up
Right.
there,
Right.
it's 5-4.
And if nothing else, old age, cancer, nothing is going to kill Ruth Bader except for this kind of shit.
Yeah. When she reads this, it's gonna kill
This
her.
is the
It's
thing.
gonna kill her.
God damn it.
I mean, like when you have this abortion stuff and the rich old white guys stuff, and from the Christian right that Mike Pence is crying about. We have all such little tolerance for him because he can't be anti-gay.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we have to be
And
tolerant
you have
of your intolerance.
Tolerance and your fucking ignorance.
Yeah.
And we have
Because we're all standing outside of his church with signs.
correct.
That's what we're doing.
Yes.
I wanna.
And I don't know. I don't know how we were how people were dumb enough to vote that orange fucker in.
Yeah.
And then on top of it,
But her emails, you know what I mean?
but her emails for sure.
She was shrill.
But then all of a sudden this kind of stuff keeps coming up and everyone's like, yeah, okay.
But this kind of stuff would still be happening if Hillary was president.
Yeah,
Like
but
this,
she.
you can't lay this on Trump.
No. But
not
they're
on Trump.
they're passing these laws because they need them to go to the Supreme
Right.
Court now. Well, it's 5-4.
Correct.
So because they know they have a favorable court, that's why they're passing.
Right.
But they've
these
been doing
things.
it all along.
Right, because now they can
Sure.
push.
That's the
yeah.
reason we have marriage
Sure.
equality
Yeah.
is because nobody was saying we wanted to get married until they said we couldn't.
You're
Right.
right. You're right.
But they push it. They push the thing so far to the right, so when it gets to the Supreme Court, they come back to
right.
something just horrible, not absolutely.
Yeah. And this is the kind of stuff that's leading to Roe v. Wade. You know, like all of it.
Yeah.
Like just overturn that.
Yeah, and there'll be there'll be no less abortions in the world. There'll just be
More
a
dead
lot
mothers.
of dead
More
women.
dead,
Yeah.
more dead women.
More dead women.
Slight change, very big change of topic actually. Barbara
you're
Seville.
right, Michael. You're
Barbara
absolutely
Seville just
right.
posted this. She can't find the
Absolutely.
tandem leash for her two dogs. She went out walking her dogs, so she used an old pair of hose.
Oh my God.
To tie her dogs together.
She's strangling her dogs with pantyhose now. Is she Ted Bundy?
I don't know. I'm just saying. She.
Are there authorities we should call?
Thank you
These
for
poor
that.
dogs.
I like.
Thank you for that because I seriously was ready. My head was ready to explode. So thank
I like
you
that
for
she was
that.
very resourceful with her.
I appreciate
hose.
it.
Don't tie those around the dog's neck though; they'll die.
Be sure to
It's only
catch.
around their collars.
I
sure to
feel
catch-
like we
Thank
learned
you.
nothing from the movie Copycat.
I needed that.
Be sure to catch Barbara Seville Saturday nights, 10 p.m. The Rock.
Two
Walking
dogs, no
your dogs.
hose. Two dogs, no hosiery.
No waiting. My gosh.
Oh, Jenny,
Two
it's
problems,
too much.
one elegant
Elegant, right.
solution.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Wait till I see her next. I'll be like, "Are those new tights?"
Yeah, right?
Well, now next week we will not have the presence of one Cat
No,
Carlson.
Cat Carlson.
Oh.
No need to submit a wheel
Enjoy.
next week.
I barely submitted one this
Yeah,
week.
I
so
agree. my
We
God.
went full
Well, wait.
metal.
He's sitting. He's handling the
first
wheel. He
alternate.
said he'll handle the wheel.
Well, regardless of all the shit, as we wrap up tonight's show, we leave you with the parting thought. We will
Sneeze.
see you next Tuesday. Or
Bless you.
sneeze.
Sneeze.
Gesundheit.